arraignment earlier today, so those remarks as well. There's been a lot coming in, live coverage. That's what we do here on Live Now from Fox. We bring you all of these different feeds in real time, live, raw, and unfiltered.
Check. Hello. What's up, everybody? So the arraignment happened today. 34 felony charges. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Of course, it's a sham case. It's a showcase. It's just to tarnish his name further and distract him from being able to campaign. But 34 felonies he's got to beat. So now he'll be the first president to beat 34 felonies. That's pretty awesome. That's legendary status right there. Let's go. So he's back in Florida. He's going to be walking down that thing soon. And he's supposed to speak in less than an hour from Lago. That's a president for you. He goes to New York, wakes up, flies to New York, or no, he flew there yesterday. Goes to New York, goes to court, flies home to Florida, and he's going to do a speech 45 minutes later. You think Biden could pull that off? If we call Biden into the courtroom, he had to leave his basement in Delaware.
Some more people now coming down.
We wouldn't see him for 3 weeks.
After landing here in Palm Beach, Florida. That's where you have this live look from. There's also no gag order, meaning that Trump and
what's the volume looking like? You guys hear it?
Be barred from publicly discussing the case. We'll be talking a little bit
will
more
not.
Legal analyst.
Did she just say won't be barred?
Here in just a little bit. About
I think she
that,
said they won't be barred from talking about the case.
Scheduled for 8:15 Eastern time. The meantime,
8:15 Eastern
just
time.
To bring you these different live looks and live images that are coming in from his arrival.
Well, that's an hour and 15 minutes. So he's got a little time. He's got an hour and 15 minutes. A little while ago, she said about an hour. Like 5 minutes ago, she said about an hour. But why this? Oh, did it end? How you gonna end it right before he gets off the plane? Lives. Oh, they're changing it. They're changing it up to speech after indictment now. Hold on. We got an hour to the speech. What the heck is that? Trump on trial, live reaction, Mark Dice, Alex Stein. Trump leaves courthouse. Where's the Fox Live feed? Look at the protests today.
And there has also been a lot of speculation regarding what
I think a lot of these people are faking, or they're new converts. You know,
type of demonstration.
They've seen what Biden's been doing to the country, and they become new converts. So, because some of these people would not have been at a Trump protest 4 years ago.
Demonstrations we might see develop today, whether in support of or in opposition to the former president.
Or the media is just choosing to show you just the weirdos. Or they're feds, and they're put in there as opposition to rile people up.
U.S. Representative and Trump firebrand Marjorie Taylor Greene holding a rally nearby. But we also have another counter-protest, Donald Trump protesters standing by. And that's where we've got Ashley Rodriguez at the park across the street from the court right now. Ashley, what are you seeing?
Ashley
right
about
now?
to get shot. Ashley, come get out of there, Ashley.
So in front of me is Foley Park. It's actually separated into two different sides by barricades.
I wasn't expecting Ashley to be like black and knees.
Police, and they have one side for pro-Trumpers and the other side for anti-Trumpers. I was stationed on the anti-Trump side. My colleague Lisa Evers is on the pro-Trump side. And really, there has been fewer anti-Trump protesters comparatively to the other side, but they are just as loud. They have bells, they have whistles,
bells and whistles. They came with the bells and whistles.
Lock Trump up, and they have one
lock
goal,
him
and
up.
that goal is
Lock
to
him
drown
up.
out the pro-Trumpers. Just make sure that they're the louder side. I mean, if you were to walk down here, if this was
loud and
day,
proud. Pride comes before the fall.
Here, and you probably would think it's a little bit pointless, but to these folks, they are passionate, and to be quite frank, they're disgust for Trump. And they tell me that they have vitriol because not only are they upset that he allegedly falsified business records, but as they see it, he tried to illegally overturn the election in Georgia. They believe
whoa. This guy. This guy, who is this guy? This guy's an op. This guy's going in there, he's trying to get content. I mean, I respect it. But I don't know. Maybe he's a real Trumper. Maybe this kid's hardcore. He's got like 10 million followers on TikTok.
They believe his behavior has been racist, especially recently toward Alvin Bragg. And as they see it, he is
Yo, that looks like, what's that actor's name? He's a big liberal. Oh, man. What? I can't even think of a movie the guy who I'm thinking of is in.
To take down
Hold on, I gotta lower the game volume.
Take a listen.
Not supposed to normalize Donald Trump's behavior, this flagrant criminality that they're normalizing, like because he's president, that he can get away with it.
Normalizing flagrant criminality?
Above the law. Prove it.
They think they outnumber us because we don't go out. Because a lot of times we'll say,
what do you mean you don't go out? You people are out.
things like, oh, don't give him any air, don't give him attention. Well, you know what? That's how Hitler rose to power. Oh, he can't do that. All the people who otherwise would have stood up. So, you know, we need to be out in more numbers just to prove.
Oh my God. What's it called? How long does it take a person to go to a Hitler reference when you're talking about anything like political or controversial? What is that called? Man, my brain's not working today. I shoveled snow for like 3 hours, and then I came inside for an hour. I went back outside, and it was totally pointless. I don't know why I shoveled the snow. And put salt down. What the? What's this lady talking about? What's it called when somebody's gonna mention Hitler in a online argument? Which means not it does happen in normal conversation too, but on an online conversation, whenever there's an argument, somebody's going to mention Hitler. It's called something in an argument. Mentioning Hitler in an argument. The reductio ad Hitlerum? No, that's not what I'm talking. Godwin's Law. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, Godwin's Law. But now they made a Latin word for it. Was Latin even around? Reductio ad Hitlerum. Oh, so it's like an ad hominem in a debate. You drop that on somebody. Yo, that's reductio ad Hitlerum. Also known as the Nazi card, is an attempt to invalidate someone else's argument on the basis that the same idea was promoted or practiced by Hitler. Yo, I'm gonna drop that on somebody. Don't bring no reductio ad Hitlerum around me. But Godwin's Law is what I was thinking of.
To them, that we outnumber them.
As she's wearing a shirt with a communist fist on it. What about Stalin and Mao and all them guys?
Oh, so we're here for a celebration, man. That's it. This isn't a protest. We're good today.
That's what I said when they repealed Roe v. Wade. I was just down there to celebrate. I was saying, praise God. That's what I was just hanging out.
Yeah, so that kind of action that you're hearing.
She's like, this chick's retarded.
That's what you're going to get when you talk to everyone out here. And what is the game plan at this point?
I don't know what. That wasn't passion. That was not passion. That was SSRIs.
Here all day, and we're going to support our cause. As the day goes on, the anti-Trump crowd has increased, but so has the pro-Trump crowd, and we're expecting a total eruption of both sides of Foley Park once the Marjorie Taylor Greene rally starts, and of course when Trump arrives. But for now, it's loud down here, it's crowded down here, it's very high energy, and everyone is on their best behavior. So that's the good news. We'll keep you updated though.
Ashley, thank you very much.
That didn't show the crazy whiteface person. Somebody was wearing whiteface, and I'm upset. I'm upset. We need to be equal here. I don't like people wearing whiteface. You can't really cancel somebody who's like, like not anybody. Crowd oppressed at Trump speech, Fox Live. Drop down and pray. Marjorie Taylor Greene speech gets drowned out. Where is the, oh, here it is. I don't want to see, here we go. We're going to open this.
I got my first Botox cosmetic.
I don't want to hear about that. Nobody cares about your Botox.
That Alvin Bragg and the DA's office are looking to allege that Donald Trump falsified these business records in furtherance of another crime. And now we know that would be the election. So New York State election law and violations of New York State election law is what Alvin Bragg is saying would be that underlying crime in order to take a misdemeanor charge in New York for falsification of business records to a felony charge. And we see 34 counts of that here in this indictment that I expect Donald Trump's defense team is going to be looking to pick apart count by count.
Yeah, and Imran, I'm going to pull up a live
34
feed here as we continue talking of the motorcade coming in. If we can go through that a little bit further, we've seen a lot of people talking about the strength of the Manhattan DA's case. How do you see these charges?
Well,
this
it's
is
early
like...
on, but what we see in this indictment would really lead me to question about, the strength of the case.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Holding it, playing it close to the cuff during his press conference there, really not giving too much detail as to
like
what
a villain.
The evidence
is it snowing where you are?
It's
snowing where I am.
And what he expects to bring forward and prove these charges beyond a reasonable doubt, ultimately, if this goes to trial. Of course, that could be because he wants to keep it somewhat confidential in many ways right now until the discovery process plays out and that evidence is given or shown to the defense. And of course, the public, to the extent that we are able to access it. We have heard rumors of a protective order being in place in which at least Donald Trump and the prosecution
they changed my skills
wouldn't necessarily
up.
be able to comment or leak certain items of evidence if a protective order is in place. But of course, I expect this to be a transparent prosecution.
He might not talk long.
Alvin Bragg and his office well if he keeps this prosecution as transparent as possible, so that the public could really see what the charges are with the evidence and have some faith in the justice system, because now it really is all eyes on the DA's office in Manhattan and making sure and ensuring that this is in fact a prosecution grounded on law rather than a politically motivated prosecution.
Well, and speaking of court today, it was about, I think, an hour or so. I think most people expected it to only be about 15 or 30 minutes in terms of the arraignment. Any idea why it may have gone longer than most people expected?
Sure, I do. I think a lot of that time was eaten up by actually members of the press seeking, more access into reporting within that courtroom. I know that there was a reporter, I think, from the New York Times that raised some issues with the judge, and it was sort of some time that was taken up in terms of press access and, things to that nature, not necessarily having to do with the substantive charges that were ultimately revealed against Donald Trump. Typically, an arraignment in New York is a quick process. The defendant is apprised of the charges against them as rendered by the grand jury. Certain formalities and things are placed on the record. If there is a ground for a bail argument, the prosecution will make a bail argument. and the defense.
Let's listen to
will
Marjorie
counter that.
Taylor Greene.
You know, so we saw this longer than expected, but I think this is not a typical arraignment by any means. And there was a lot of considerations to be had in terms of safety, procedure.
Is there any footage
and
from
a lot of moving parts? You have the
inside?
Secret Service.
It wasn't
court officers
made
from
public.
New York State courts in there. You have NYPD, the DA's office, and of course all this press interest and public interest that had to weigh into what went on in that courtroom. But I think, why did it take so long? That was the big question. It wasn't necessarily having to do with anything substantive with the law or the indictment itself or arguments being
changed
made
up my
on
skill
that
bars.
I think it had
Now
to
I
do
gotta
with the
fix
logistics of
everything.
things and press access.
So
yeah,
where's my 3
pull
at?
up a couple other live looks here as we keep talking as well. This is where Trump will be speaking in about an hour or so, and also another live look here at where the motorcade is coming in. But Imran, speaking about social media specifically, also about Trump speaking later this evening, some people had speculated that he may be subject to a gag order limiting what he could publicly say about this case, but the judge decided not to put one in place. Can you speak a little bit more on that?
Yeah, for now. So the judge, for now, didn't put one in place in terms of a gag order.
Heavy swing,
but there was a warning,
path.
And it appeared to be the judge was letting it be known that
chill until the speech starts.
A situation.
This guy's I don't know. Let's hear what MTG had to say.
Congresswoman, what message are you hoping to send by being here today? Are you guys back up? Back up! Back up! Let's go! Back up! Are you going to go to court?
Same message you want to send by being there. Why are you there? It's important.
Are you trying to go to court?
She says she's come to be with the people who are going to peacefully protest. I want to see the speech she did. They said it got drowned out. It's only 40 seconds long. This ain't going to be the whole speech. New York City mayor calls out Marjorie Taylor Greene ahead of the Trump arraignment. Dude, all these are 30 seconds long. There we go. It's 2 minutes.
Right now, Judicial Watch, the president there, Tom Fitton. And Tom, I mean, you call this case a joke, and I will say this.
This is an ad.
A CNN poll shows 76% of Americans think it is politically motivated to one degree or another. Why are you calling it a joke?
Because it's to be charitable, a novel application of the law. It's never been used before in this way. They're turning so-called misdemeanors, not even real misdemeanors,
into felonies?
Into felonies, evidently, by pretending paying off someone in a personal matter ought to be a campaign contribution.
Because if you're going to
targeted because he didn't use campaign funds to take care of a personal issue.
This is an ad right now. This isn't what I played. And it says skip ads. This is crazy.
You know, that's the kind of Alice in Wonderland approach. This is a dark time for America. It's a sad day. President Trump is officially a political prisoner. Our system is broken. Politics have taken...
I mean, if you're going to trump up charges, that's great. This is... It's always been trumped up charges, right? That's the expression. If you're going to trump up charges, you might as well make it look as bad as possible. Call them felonies. Either way, the case is dead in the water. Been that way for years. This has been known. The guilty guy already went to prison.
Taken over the justice system, at least in New York City. And, you know, the question is, can we extricate the rule of law?
Trumped up charges. Might as well call them a felony.
Restore it in the city.
Right.
And hopefully the court moves quickly to quash this abuse of power. And, you know, frankly, if I were the judge, the first thing I'd be asking the prosecutor, I want you to explain yourself. What are we doing here? What are we doing here as a country and you as a prosecutor who lets everybody and their mother off?
Everybody and a mama.
Makes it a policy to turn felonies into misdemeanors, and here you're creating felonies out of whole cloth against someone whose only crime it seems is to run against someone you like, Joe Biden.
You know, Tom, you mentioned here in New York City, but don't you think there'd have to be some sort of tacit approval from higher-ups in the Democratic Party, even going up to the White House, I mean, is there any way something this monumental could happen in a vacuum?
I don't want this on my hot
someone
bar.
saying, okay, it's okay, because the ramifications, to your point, this is historic. This is changing the tides. Now, maybe someone did the calculation and said they want President Biden, former President Biden, Trump rather, to be the next nominee for the GOP, because that's
how you
exactly
gonna mix
what
up
this
Trump
seems to
and
be
Biden?
doing. His poll numbers are rocketing, his donations are pouring in, and there's a lot of apolitical types out there, people who don't pay a lot of attention, who are feeling sympathetic to the points that you just made, that this is simply un-American. So who checked
Rampart
off this
boosts my
ultimately?
D.
Who do you think, I mean, could have gone to the White House and say, okay, go for it?
Well, you know, someone like Bragg doesn't need a signal from the White House.
Overpower.
This case
We need that
originated
right
in the anti-Trump
next to Tomahawk.
Deep State Justice Department. He brought
Low
in
blow,
a former
provoke.
Obama official, a former Biden appointee as a special employee to go after
while
Trump.
gaining additional
You know, you got to look at this as a storm front going from Georgia through D.C. up to New York of Democratic politicians in 3 different left-leaning jurisdictions
Then up
trying
top,
to jail Trump.
the cooldowns.
Again, based on novel applications of the law, applying laws that haven't been applied before to any citizen, let alone a former president and the leading candidate for president, at least if the polls are to be believed.
Then let me pick up on that angle, because again, these you know, we've already seen
This
where a lot
increases my
of
defenses.
George
This
Soros-backed,
lowers the
attorney
enemy's
generals
offenses.
have gone, you know, have gone beyond, if you will.
Manipulating it and perverting it into something that was never meant to be. Donald J. Trump is innocent. This is election. It is a tool for the Democrats.
Why'd you cut it, Forbes?
Hijack the 2024 presidential election. This
I don't
is
even
a
know if
travesty.
Forbes might get mad if I play this stuff.
And I'm here as a representative and a member of Congress to take a stand using my First Amendment right to speak out against this. This should never happen in America, ever. And every single American should be concerned. They're coming after President Trump today, and they will come after you tomorrow. President Trump did nothing wrong. They have nothing to stand on.
I wouldn't say he did nothing wrong. Everybody done something wrong.
This administration is on the verge of World War III. This administration is sexualizing
Discord's open if anybody want to hop in there. It's always open, but I'm in it. I mean, doing the show.
Top Republican candidate for president for 2024. We cannot tolerate this injustice in the United States of America. No more. To the world like President Trump did, not World War III like Joe Biden. We're the party of economic prosperity. We're the party where every American can live the American dream. But the Democrats are the communists. Democrats are the communists, and they are destroying America.
Facts.
Destroying freedom. Democrats are the ones that have nothing to campaign for because they are failures, and they're proving it today. I want to thank the New York City Young Republicans for organizing this protest. I want to thank
USA! 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 USA!
That guy's the hype man. He's like, let's go. You hear somebody saying, get out, get out. Yeah, they're trying to drown her out. What the?
Podium.
We're seeing bare bones indictment is a stain on our nation, which will only be washed away by returning President
Pleads
Donald
not
J.
guilty
Trump
to 34
the
felony
White House,
counts
where
of
he
falsifying
belongs.
business
So,
records.
a statement there from him as well. We also have a lot of images from earlier today, in case you missed some of this, of
Don't nobody
him throughout
want her
the
up
day.
in there.
First with him leaving
Oh,
Trump
Lau.
Tower, where he stayed
Running her
last
mouth.
night. ahead of his arraignment.
The mayor
So
told
you
her
can
to
see
be on
that
her
video
best
here. That
behavior.
gold door is where he exited
Oh, that black guy?
before heading to the courthouse. You'll see him come out here in just a
So
second.
you
There
need to
he
be on
is.
your best
He
behavior. You
waves
coming
to
up there.
folks
She made it
before
short and sweet.
getting in, and
That's
the
the
protest.
then
That's the
left
mayor of
over
New
to
York.
the courthouse, which was about 4
I
miles
know
away.
What's
So
his
you
name?
also have video.
He said, "Y'all smell
This
that
is from
reefer?
our Skyfox
Somebody's
cameras
lighting up
overhead.
over
A
here."
lot of
You see
security
that video
there
when he
as
did
well.
that?
Secret Service members who
Yeah,
are
he
with
was out
him
there and
throughout
he was like,
this arraignment
"Oh, I can smell it.
process.
Somebody's taking
And then we
advantage
also
of the
have
new
some
laws
video
right
here
now.
from
You smell that
the
reefer?"
hallway
He's
as
acting all
he was
black on
entering
camera
the
at a
courtroom.
press
Security and
conference
members of the
outside.
media were lined on this hallway on the
He's
15th
dope.
floor of the
He's dope.
courthouse where he entered that courtroom.
Yep, man.
Earlier
Trump went
today.
in and out, didn't he?
Cameras allowed inside.
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
Commissioner and I spoke on.
Yeah, he gonna make a speech tonight talking about what? It's not fair.
We were clear that
Trump? I don't know what he's going to talk about. I'm not a
is
dang
day
mind
that's
reader,
going to draw a
future
great deal of attention to our city.
forecaster.
And we know there are many questions around
You ain't got no idea,
the
huh?
movement of the city.
I think he's
and
going to
we
say,
want to make sure
I
that
think he's
this
going to
is
say
very
something like
clear.
this. The Democrats are doing another witch hunt. They've constantly been doing this ever since the first day I came down the escalator with my beautiful wife, Melania. They've been trying to get me. Everything.
That sounds
Russia.
about right.
First
That
it was
sounds about
Russia,
right.
Russia, Russia. Then it was da-da-da. But what about the laptop? What about Hunter's laptop? It's going to be something.
Sound about right.
Something like
That's
that.
how it's about. That's about how it should go. That's what I'm thinking it's gonna go.
Stated, New York City is always.
What's
always
his
ready.
name? Oh, Eric Adams. Yeah.
We know that this is a city
Oh, the mayor.
where our NYPD and other law
Yep,
enforcement entities
that's exactly how it
must be
should go.
prepared at any given moment for anything to happen in this city. To start,
Man.
I want to make it clear.
Well,
the commissioner has
anyway,
stated over and over again there has been
you having
no
a watch party or what?
specific credible threats
Yep.
to our city at this time.
Right. That's
And all
right.
New
Trump.
Yorkers should go on
He's
with
already
their
back in
regular
Florida right now,
activities.
almost,
That means
right?
going to work, going to school.
He's already
I
back.
don't know. Yeah, his plane touched down already.
Tremendous. Yes, he'll probably say tremendous.
No, he ain't gonna say
of
tremendous.
Lots of hand gestures. He'll probably call out the fake news media hiding in the back. They don't want to show you how many people are really here.
Did they tell you how serious 32 felony charges is? How they gonna lay it out?
Did you know how bullshit those charges are?
Oh, okay.
Or bullspit. Bullspit. I'm gonna start saying bullspit.
It was already proven guilty already, right?
No, they already looked at these charges in like 2018, and they're like, "Nah, there's no case here," and they should they should be misdemeanor charges.
No, that's
Guy,
where you're wrong.
The lawyer I was just watching said that. I said it before he said it. Then he said it at the same time I said it.
No, the Stormy Daniels, I agree. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the 32 charges of fraud the Trump organization got hit with.
I'm talking about what happened today.
Yeah, that's what they tied to Trump. 32 felony charges from the Trump organization. That was
so they're bringing that business stuff in with the Stormy Daniels stuff. The Stormy Daniels stuff really,
yes,
it's all nonsense. Nothing's gonna happen, Freddie. You really believe that you believe what they're telling you? You haven't seen it multiple times proven wrong. Why can't you?
What, him getting locked up before? You seen him get locked up before?
It's been nonstop for the last 6 years.
He's
Every
been locked
6
up
months.
nonstop.
Every 6 months he's going to jail for something. He's going. There's memes about it. Memes have some truth in them if they're good memes. Every year I hear Trump's going to jail and it doesn't work. So when are you going to realize that if you keep believing into that you're believing into nonsense? You're being a tool.
Today he didn't get OR'd.
Huh?
You know what OR means?
I know what ROR is, released on your own recognizance.
Yeah, they just don't put the R in front of it. It's OR, or your own recognizance. It's released. So if you're being released.
In Florida, we called it ROR.
What does that mean?
And then you also had SROR, which is
okay. You don't want to answer.
Hold on, I'm thinking surveillance or monitored ROR, where you have the ankle monitor. I have one of them. Okay, what were you asking?
The R in ROR. What does the R stand for?
Recognizance. It's recognizance. It's like your own supervision, and or in like the military use of it, it'd be like gathering information.
I said the first R in your ROR.
Released, it means to be let go.
Exactly.
Released on your own. The O means you, yourself, of yours.
To be released, you have to be what?
Do what?
To be released, you have to be what?
You have to be arrested.
Oh.
He was arrested. He was indicted, and today he went into court, and he technically was arrested. He got fingerprinted and arraigned at a court date. You can be arrested and never see a jail cell. You can be detained on the side of the road and then be let go.
Well, what you saying?
But once they arrest you, they have to take you to jail. They can't take it back. No takesy backsies.
Every 6 months he gets arrested, or they talk about him getting arrested?
I say every 6 months they've been saying he's going to jail. He's going to jail. And it never is true. And it's today. So you think today that it's going to be true? It's going to come true.
If you say he went to jail and got released on his own recognizance, I believe it's true.
He never went to a jail. He went to a courthouse
and got released. He went in custody.
Hold on, I gotta make sure that I don't miss the speech when it starts.
Had these images, these still images at least, to give you a little bit of a look of what that was
saying
like
the same
inside
thing.
the courtroom. Trump sitting there with his
No, I think by going to court, they just released him.
legal team. So both of these images shed a little bit of light
Or-
of what that looked like.
I don't know. Maybe they
And
did
then also
ROR it, but
here,
regardless, he didn't go to
outside
jail.
of the
He's not going to
courtroom,
jail. He's not going to
him
prison.
leaving here after his arraignment.
He just got arrested.
Of vigorously enforcing white-collar
I think
crime.
indicting and arresting is different things, but I'm not sure about that. Damn job that was patronizing. A reporter should ask him this, but I think he's too vulgar.
My office,
Had
including the
Alvin
talented
Briggs.
prosecutors you
Alvin
saw at
Bragg.
Arraignment earlier today, has charged hundreds of felony falsifying business records.
They got all the heavy
This
hitters
charge
in now.
can be said is the bread and butter of our white-collar work.
Got some
The fraud
hard
presents
hitting
itself in all different
boys
forms here in Manhattan.
down
We've
there
charged
waiting on them
falsifying
at the
business
Jake.
records for those who violated
Come on now.
federal bank secrecy laws.
Black people love Trump.
We have charged falsifying business records for those who
Yeah,
were
I see the one they keep
cover
putting
up
on TV.
sex crimes. And we have brought this charge for those
That Florida guy, he looks like he got that greasy Jerry curl.
This case
Yeah,
today
he
is
put it
one with
behind him on
allegations
every rally.
like so many
Where
white-collar cases.
he ain't gonna make it.
Allegations
Well, we
that
can't.
someone
We gotta
lied
postpone the
again
damn rally
and
if he
again
ain't gonna be here.
to protect their
We
interests
need to block for
and evade
Trump.
the laws to which we are all
If we ain't got
held
that
accountable.
guy, we ain't having the rally. There he is. Pull him on that front seat. We're gonna have to get him a seat on Air Force One. Can't keep postponing these rallies for his late ass.
Palm Beach at 8:15, so we got 45 minutes.
45 minutes. Oh shit, man. It's going down in the DM.
We conducted a thorough investigation, as we're known to do, at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office.
Man,
I've been
that's the same
doing
amount
this
of
for
time that
24
Hank gonna be
years,
debating.
and I'm no stranger to rigorous
Hake is debating
complex
tonight
investigations.
Mm-hmm.
I bring cases
at
when they're
8:15.
having now conducted a rigorous
45
thorough
minutes,
investigation,
whatever that is.
the case was ready
Your
to be
time,
brought.
my time.
Hake debates are usually pretty funny
Yeah, it's gonna be in about 5 o'clock.
because he just like real matter of factly just puts them in their place, and the chat goes insane. The chat loses their minds.
Yeah, somebody's like, "Oh, you debating Hank? It's gonna be an easy win."
That's what they all,
Nah.
yeah.
And I typed, "Hank's smarter than you think he is."
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I
he
say
just know
that
how to
too.
protect his channel.
But he just doesn't debate real like
The indictment
like
is specified because the law does not so require.
like
In my remarks, I mentioned
intelligently,
a
or
couple of
like,
laws which
you
I
know,
will
he doesn't like
highlight again now.
a lot of people when they
Yeah,
debate they
dude,
talk
The
I don't
they talk
believe
fast.
that.
is New York State election law, which makes
Yeah, he'll just
He's
be like,
more-
nope, because God said so.
Yeah.
And I think that's
Say
based. I
support.
think that's based. I'm all right with it. I like it. Just,
Yep, pretty much. That's how Christians are. Ain't no reasoning with
that's
them.
not how
That's why I
all
was trying to
Christians
get
are. There
into.
are some very smart Christian people, Freddie,
I
that
was trying to get into
debate quite differently.
Joel and tell him, man, you gotta be able to reason. You ain't gonna get nowhere not being able to reason.
I was listening to two young Earth creationists debating two evolutionists on intelligent design versus evolution. And the one guy was getting the one young Earth dude, he was getting kind of getting kind of mad, but he was real smart. But then the other guy was like a genius from India, and he's talking about how our language developed and how different sections of our brain control different emotions and language and all these things. And he's like, how come animals haven't developed this? None of them ever. Like, and when did matter gain consciousness and deep philosophical questions like this? And he wiped the floor with both of them. He was a genius.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Well,
yeah. So, roll you piece of shit.
So just because you're like a Christian doesn't mean you're smart or dumb or anything.
Yeah.
People who think that are usually dumb.
You can't think out of the box. You stuck in a box. So the world and
no, Steve. I believe in the one who created the box, so I get to design the box. Or I get to
whatever box you got.
God designs the box. God designed the box. So that's my
nothing
box.
outside the box you believe in, but there's more
no everything. There is nothing outside the box. It's just what you think is outside of your box, or you think is outside, but really you got the wrong box.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you boxed in, because you boxed in the one thinking, and everything's a box. I don't believe it's a box. That's like the world being flatter or round. You believe it's in boxes, and God made your box, and your box is correct. And that's the reason. That's what no reasoning that I'm talking about. Because you're gonna refer to your box and the perimeters of your box, like your perimeters matter when it's an illusion to you. It's an illusion to me.
Was he processed? He was well, he got fingerprinted, mugshot, and all that in the courthouse. It's like if you go to court for a charge and you get arrested. Well, if you never been, let me tell you, I've been a few times. You go in the court, say you got a charge you got to go to court for, and you go there and they sentence you, you're guilty. They say, you're sentenced. This isn't the case with Trump, but this is how I've seen it happen. But you don't have to go to jail or anything. They'll take your fingerprints and they'll mugshot you in the courtroom. And I guess that's how an indictment works too. You don't actually have to go to a jail. Now, if he's guilty, he might, who knows? He might get prison time if he's guilty. But that's a big if.
That's what the trial's about to go. That's where we're going, the trial.
But that's a big if, because that ain't gonna happen. I think the likelihood now. I see. At the same time, I was not about damn sure that he was gonna that he was gonna win the election, and then we saw some shenanigans.
Yeah, so with the red wave too, right?
So I mean, if Satan wins, then we might see him in some county orange, in some some prison blues.
32 felony charges. And they're gonna lay him right out for you.
But he's gonna bring the charges to Florida, I think.
Bring New York charges to Florida.
Yeah,
bro.
I think he's it's already in the works. I was listening to somebody who was talking about he's doing
trying to get that judge to recruit himself, and talking about his wife ain't gonna be the way to do it. He done made that judge mad. You talking shit about this man's wife, ain't got nothing to do with nothing, but she made some posts.
You lost me. I don't know.
Yeah, the judge that's reigning over, it might be your dude Alvin Bragg's wife, the DA's wife, was saying something about Trump, and he attacked her on Twitter or his network. Yep, you know he's good at attacking people's wives. He done attacked the wrong one. And that's why he's trying to get it moved, because he thinking that judge should recuse herself because his wife said some shit about him back in the day.
On The View, they said it was the same judge that was over. I can't remember what they're saying. I played a clip.
That don't play fair. He thinks that don't play fair.
Some scammy,
don't like
fake judge.
Well, he gonna have to deal with him because they ain't moving his case.
Juan M. Merchan. Yeah, I remember this name. Juan. Oh, Juan.
And he said New York's so dangerous in that part of town. He don't think it's fair to do a trial there because he might get in
the
danger.
5-week tax fraud trial of Trump's family's real estate business. Oh yeah, nothing. Whatever came of that. He had to pay some money. They only came for my money, my money, my money. Have you ever heard that song? Oh, I'm about to play it for the stream. Who's it from? It's from Trevor Wesley.
Man, that dude's whack. I ain't gonna talk about him. That's your favorite rapper.
You don't even know who Trevor Wesley is. He's not a rapper. He's the one who sings. He's the one who sings the Stand Up remix on JLP.
Free Trump. Free Donald Trump.
Here we are.
Lock up Joe Biden.
They've had me to their homes.
Oh, I wish you could hear this.
Me to their children. I become their best friend. They've asked for my endorsement.
Oh, this song bumps.
They've introduced me to their children. I become their best
wish you could hear
friend.
this. You gotta turn it down, Freddie.
Yeah,
or mute for a second.
They always wanted my money, and they always wanted my money, my money. They always wanted my money. They always wanted my money, money. They always wanted my money, my money. And they always wanted my money, my money.
That's deep.
They always wanted my money, money.
Look at the pictures he
They always
shows.
wanted my money. They've had me to their homes. They've introduced me to their children. I become their best friend.
God, what a boss, dude. He did this at like a presidential dinner.
They've had me to their homes. They've introduced me to their children. I become their best friend. They've asked for my endorsement. And they always wanted my money, money. They always wanted my money, my money. And they always wanted my money, my money.
Trevor Wesley's awesome.
Wanted my money. And they always wanted my money, money. They always wanted my money, my money. And they always wanted my money, my money. They always wanted my money.
Orange Man and the orange
giving away his
jumpsuit.
own money. He's giving away the Federal Reserve's money.
Whatever.
Y'all don't wake up.
Whatever. It's always about
Why now?
the Federal Reserve.
As I just mentioned, we have
Always about the
had
Federal
available to the
Reserve.
office additional evidence that was not in the office's.
That's why we ain't got no. That's why we ain't got no deal right now. And the debt ceiling hasn't been lifted, and the government still might shut down.
Strong, I would say profound.
Still ain't got no deal.
This is the
I would,
capital of the world.
I would say you sound a little like this Austrian painter
Cases involving false business statements.
that I know, but that would be reducto ad Hitlerium. I learned that
You
today.
sound just about as retarded as you trying to learn that.
That's a Latin term that for an argument for a fallacy, a logical fallacy. Reductio ad Hitlerium. And that's not a Harry Potter spell either.
It's exactly a Harry Potter spell. It's exactly what the fuck it is. Don't lie. You don't have to say that stupid shit. You know it's a Harry.
No, because I
Like,
was just looking it up. It's Latin.
No. Yeah, you learned it on Harry Potter. It might be Latin.
No, I learned it on Google just like 20 minutes ago during the stream. It's when you use Hitler as a rebuttal in an argument. You like, or when you call something, you say somebody sounds like Hitler.
Right.
It's a fallacy.
Okay.
It's like You can't say my argument's bad just because Hitler had the same argument, right?
I don't know. Yep. It don't make no good sense.
It's Godwin's law.
I never come with some basics. Y'all gonna be left in the dust.
Trevor had a live show for a while. I called in and he got mad at me, and I was just being sensible, asking a regular question in regards to Owen Benjamin, and he got flustered and just shut it down. I mean, he didn't get pissed off or anything. He didn't want anything to do with that question. It was a pretty fair question. It was a hateful thing. What'd you ask? Does he know Owen Benjamin or something? How would he know? Is he like friends with Owen Benjamin?
Probably so.
What was the question you asked?
Who, me?
No, I'm talking to Stephen Wills in the... I almost got banned on Facebook today.
Doing what?
Told somebody to quit being a bitch because they were being a bitch. And as soon as I posted, I was like, I'm going to get banned for that. I should have done a little girl emoji and then a little dog emoji, like female dog.
Yeah.
But I thought about it afterwards. But I think I only got banned from that group. And it's just a meme group, so I don't care. Okay. I don't need to post in there anyway. I just steal the memes.
Yeah. Yeah, but Hank wasn't on Facebook today.
Who watches him on Facebook?
You know who watches him on Facebook.
I know, but I mean, do you watch? You don't watch him on Facebook?
Nope. I think he quit. I think he quit recording over there or some shit. I used to. Sometimes it pops up, and that's how I get my alert. It sounds my phone on Facebook, and then I go over to YouTube because it's more chats, and they don't disappear over there. So I get more traction over on Facebook. I mean, YouTube. So I be seeing them over there on Facebook. I'm on both sometimes. I say what's up, throw a couple troll jokes, and run off. Leave Raymond chase me over to YouTube. He'll come over right after he see me leave. Yeah, they'll start talking this shit. I said, that's right. I just be having fun. They think I'm mad or something. Like, what I got to be mad at, man? I'm just calling Joel, speaking my mind. I said, you got on Popeye shirt. Which one would you rather be? Popeye that ate the spinach or Popeye without the spinach? He gonna lie and say Popeye without the spinach. He ain't never got the girl. Brutus' ego was the shit. He walked around like he knew he'll fuck him up if he ain't have that spinach. That's what the hell you want.
What's her name?
Around like no beta male.
Mayonnaise or whatever her name. Olive oil was with Popeye whether he was on the spinach or not.
He had to eat the spinach to take up for her. Because she'll get kidnapped, raped, until he had to go save her.
I know. Popeye is a beta.
Oh, Popeye. Yeah, he had to go do that drug.
Yep.
That spinach, that fake courage. But if he always had that.
I agree with that. Popeye is beta, yep.
Without the spinach, he's beta, right?
Because, well, just having to use the spinach, even when he's on the spinach, he's still beta. You don't become not beta just because you get big and strong. But the fact that he's using the spinach to make him big and strong makes him still beta when he's big. What he needs to do is go to the gym and get and do some MMA training so he can take Brutus down without needing the spinach. That would be that would be alpha.
That's right. He promoting drug use.
Yep. Shooting up some steroids or something.
Right. You know, we're promoting all kinds of bad habits.
Yeah.
Liquid courage. That's what alcohol is. Liquid courage. He like, hey, down the bottle. Boom, 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 boom. Running there and getting knocked the fuck out. Ooh, knocked out.
Where am I supposed to be going on this stupid map?
Back playing that game again.
Would that have really influenced?
Starts in 30 minutes. T minus 30 minutes. What's
Trump
these people saying?
money? This is the same guy who said I could walk down Fifth Avenue and
Oh, we got some bald Democrat on with glasses on the screen.
Defense to that is, listen, I didn't do this to influence the election.
Yeah, I told Joel, I said, some people just choose violence always.
That answers your question in terms of the difficulties that the prosecution had.
Everything you said to Joel today was like ass backwards.
No, he took it backwards because he agreed with me.
I was listening too, and I was like, no.
We're saying the same thing. No, we're not. Don't try to put you, because I'm making sense, and you won't put the light on my ego.
You weren't making no sense.
I was making all the sense, and he wouldn't have said, I agree with you. He said, I agree with you. We saying the same thing. You just saying the light is the
I think
ego.
you just confuse people.
I ain't confused with shit.
And they're like, yeah, I agree. Oh, shit.
No, they know what's going on when I speak. They can feel it like, yeah, you right. You right.
No.
Damn.
No.
Yeah. He ain't have no rebuttals, man. You know what it is. And Nick did it the other night, too. When I got on his butt, he stayed up late. I don't know if you was on there. You got on there late or something. Try to be like, it's political already. Dang right, because I ain't going to be talking about no glizzies and no stuff he be doing in no VR. That'd be crazy.
Misdemeanors in my
But
opinion.
nah. I got to call in on a day Trump with the jail. I can easily find that one. Be like, all right, I called in this week because this is history right here.
Why is there such
you ain't going to be able to find history again, so
window of time before
I want to see how he felt about it before he got all the. This is still a surprise.
Well, I'm smiling because the judge.
You know what I'm saying?
What are you talking about?
The 32 felonies of the that they hitting Trump with. It's still a surprise of what's all in there.
No, they came out with all of it today. It's unsealed.
Yeah, but I don't know if it goes.
And everybody's saying they should be these should be misdemeanors. But so what I'm saying, what they're doing is they're trumping up charges. They're going to trump up. They know they have a failing case, but this is just meant to take up his time so he can't campaign before the election and to put a stain on his name, tarnish his record. Same thing as the impeachments. They knew they didn't have him. They knew they weren't going to get him out with those impeachments.
But they said
they're doing all this to tarnish his name. So now when the election time comes, they say this guy's been to court for 32 felonies. He's done all this business stuff. He's been impeached twice. He's we had to investigate him for Russian collusion and blah 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 blah. Just to tarnish his name.
Of course they're gonna say that, but no, his name's already.
But it's all nonsense. And so you're the type of person
it's gonna pump him up.
You're the type of person who
doing it to
eats up all this stuff. You're just eating the shit.
If you're gonna pump them up,
they're just pumping it into you, and you're just eating it up.
No, either it's gonna pump them
gullible
up.
Gullible than a mug. You might as well become a flat earther, Freddie. You're gullible than a mug.
How? Y'all saying it's gonna help them win the election? I hope y'all right.
You believe everything the lying Democrats tell you. You can't see that they're persecuting this man.
You don't hear me listening.
They're trying to take this man out because he's a strong, white, somewhat Christian. I don't know if he's totally Christian. Man of power. You don't like that. You're a hater. You're a hater. You're a hater. Everybody hates to see somebody doing something right.
I'm going to vote for him all the way up into the split. When he starts splitting the vote, I'm going to be like, got him. So we need Trump to make it to split the vote.
Look at this person in this telescope.
It can't be all of DeSantis or nothing. He needs a running mate.
That is crazy.
I want to see the fight. We need to see the DeSantis Trump fight public live on air.
They're not gonna fight.
Well, he need to pass the
That he wants
baton
to
or
move
something
the
needs
case
to transact.
corny about
Either
our system and say,
DeSantis gonna
well,
keep
if
kissing
the statute
ass
of
and
limitations
letting
appears
Trump call
to
him
be a very strong
names
argument to
like
the
a
judge
beta
and this
male
question
and
of
lose all his
federal law
support,
appears to be strong, then maybe
or
he will
Trump's
dismiss it. We'll
gonna
see.
Okay,
choose
Randy,
him
my
as
next
a
question to you, and I
vice
want to get
president.
both of your opinions on this.
Either or, he need to quit
What do you
talking
make
about him and
of
get
former
in line.
President
And
Trump's
DeSantis
legal
don't know
team
what he
of
want
his
to do.
attorneys? He added
Stop
a pretty
talking about it and be about it.
strong one
Well,
just
DeSantis
yesterday,
isn't
but
really
there's
talking
been
about
some
running.
criticism of Joe
He's letting
Tacopina. He
Trump
was just
call him
on
every
Fox
name in the book, but
talking
he's losing
about the case.
popularity.
He held
Because
Come
the more
on.
Trump talk about him,
Come
more
on.
Trump talk
He's made
about him.
little jabs is all Trump's took. Trump hasn't dropped
No.
any bombs on DeSantis.
All his supporters
I
are
think
waiting
Trump is
on
toughening DeSantis
DeSantis to
up.
make a move.
I think he's
Yeah, he's
toughening
waiting on.
toughening DeSantis up and he's getting DeSantis ready for what's coming. That's why he said, I think DeSantis is going to find out very soon about false accusations. And because remember, DeSantis said, I wouldn't know about these things about paying a hooker for whatever. You know what DeSantis said. And then Trump was like, oh, I think he's going to find out real soon what that's like. Because once you get to a certain level of power, here they come.
Oh, so Trump thinking he's gonna get to a higher level of power then?
No, I think he knows DeSantis is his not predecessor, but his successor.
Yeah. So well, he already know he's gonna lose. That's what I'm saying.
That'll be.
If he's gonna know real soon the powers of being.
If we get
powerful,
4 more years of Trump, and then we get 8 years of DeSantis, we might be able to recover America. It might be redeemable without losing it totally to you commies.
What if y'all get 16 more years of Democrat?
Then we're done for. We just might as well wrap it up. Just either go live in the woods or buy yourself a pod, put a VR helmet on.
All right.
Get used to eating bugs. Start speaking Mandarin.
You better start investing in pods.
If you guys don't smoke weed, you might as well start now.
That's right. They're going to grow weed in the penitentiary. In a Democrat society that's going to pay for all the damn privatizing. They're going to have... I moved from a red state.
If you aren't getting psychotropic medications, you better start now. Go see your local psychologist. Might as well just
I moved from a red
roll
state
with it.
that tried to kill me and lock me up to a blue state that's trying to take care of me and let me do what I want to do.
Red state's not trying to lock you up unless you're breaking laws. So just don't break laws.
The red state was trying to kill me.
And you never even been to jail, so you don't even you BS.
Listen. The red state.
You ain't some gangster.
Listen, the red state trying to kill me by growing the Newports, and then they illegalized marijuana, and they try to lock me up.
No, I live in a red state, and cigarettes, menthols aren't banned here. Menthols aren't banned in Florida. Menthols aren't banned in Texas. They're banned in California and New York.
Exactly. You're making my point. You're making my point. Listen,
you're making my point.
Kentucky,
They're trying to kill you.
Nicotine.
They got you addicted to it, and then they took it away.
And then they lock you up for weed. That's Kentucky. Out here, they ban the nicotine and legalize the weed.
I don't think they're really locking people up for weed. I think they're probably pleading down.
In Kentucky, they're locking people up for weed.
All right, maybe in Kentucky. There's some backwoods.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. They trying to kill me and lock me up in the red state.
I feel like
nicotine.
I feel like I talked to cops high on pot and told them I smoked weed this morning like 10 years ago in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Pretty sure that happened.
No, Bowling Green's always been.
I've been to Bowling Green. I've been to Lexington.
Yeah, all illegal. Not even medicinal use.
Well, I was doing door-to-door magazine sales, and I talked to cops frequently. So I'm sure at some point I talked to a cop, and I probably had some weed on me, and it was probably high. And I probably laughed and said, "Yeah, I was high," and I still walked away from him because I was just G like that.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody put me in prison. That's my point.
Lock you up and try to kill you, versus the total opposite out here. They said cigarettes are worse than weed, and there they saying weed is worse than cigarettes. Okay. See, it's two opposites. That's the only two difference between Kentucky and California. They'd rather sell you cigarettes and lock you up for weed. And here, they'd rather not sell you cigarettes
Here, you be the one
and let
to
you
go
smoke
see
your
if
weed
we'll be
because it's
invited
better
to
for
this
you.
party,
That's common sense.
and maybe we can get in and maybe we can't. And if you get in,
Can't
great,
beat
and
that.
then everybody else follows in.
What
Don't
is
be
that, a flying
surprised
monkey dragon?
if we never see
A
this
flying
case go to
monkey
trial.
dragon?
This
What are
was
you
the
talking
first
about?
one. We all find out.
Down
The world
there.
is still
You missed
spinning.
it. It flew
The
over
sun
your
is going
head.
to set tonight.
Oh,
The
in
sun
the
will
game?
rise tomorrow. The
Yeah.
world hasn't ended. So now maybe these other more powerful indictments, the Georgia indictment, January 6th, the document cases,
It ain't
watch
came back
them
around
now
yet.
get ahead of steam, and this case is forgotten about.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that was going to be one of my next points.
Uh-oh,
is,
he's expected to speak.
realistically, you could see other indictments come down throughout the course
What
of
if he
this year
get-
into next year. Obviously, next
What
year
if
is
he
a
get
election year. It's campaign year.
Abraham Lincoln on stage?
See in these several swirling investigations centering
What?
around former President.
What if somebody
Trump?
Abraham Lincoln his ass on stage? That'd be crazy.
What?
You supposed to be in jail, mother. Boom. Oh, cut. See what happens when you're above the law.
Up to you, though.
You can't
if you're
evade what
an
God has
indicted
planned.
citizen,
They're gonna say,
what
"Oh
happens to
no,
him, if anything?"
it's a conspiracy."
That's a great question because
That was
we can
JFK that
unpack
killed him.
a little of what went on in
JFK
court.
Jr.
This is literally a conspiracy. They're conspiring to damage the credibility and hurt a former president coming up candidate in an election.
It's funny you use that word.
What?
That's exactly what they doing. What Trump did, conspired to cheat on his taxes, and that's what the conspiracy that trumped all of
No,
these.
this isn't about the company's tax stuff. This is about the hush money case. Business dealings with the money related to that.
No, that's attached to 32 charges of fraud.
No, he already been charged for that. This guy was just saying that this kind of is gonna fizzle, and they're gonna focus on other older stuff.
I saw one commentator predict, and it was interesting.
Panel of
Screaming about the corrupt Soros bought and paid for
a panel of
DA,
whore clump
and
juice.
that the DA should be arrested and charged with and indicted.
That's right.
Because of the leak
They all
of the grand
against
jury
him now. I
information,
told you.
which, by the way, is a crime which no one will investigate. But that's a
Don't nobody
side
believe them cats.
editorial from me. But the point is,
Yeah,
he should
wrong
take the high
mouse.
road. He should say that in his view,
I got the wrong
the
mouse.
case is a cobbled together, attempt. He should
Oh, my
cite
dude,
facts,
you
which
tell
is
him.
that the Southern District of New York, probably the most prestigious federal district.
Is
in
that
the country.
is that Marsha Clark?
Marsha.
Is that the chick that defended or was in the OJ case? Looks like her. Frizzy red hair.
Declined prosecution. The Federal Election Commission, whose former chair appears on cable TV regularly to say that they did not feel it was a federal election violation. Just go with facts like that. And then just say, and therefore, that's why I find it so surprising that he would pursue this vendetta. My attorneys tell
Marsha Clark was the prosecutor in the OJ case.
me that there's a very convoluted step they've taken to elevate
up,
this
Dean?
thing, up to a felony level. And
Is he coming out right now?
Unwarranted and unjustified.
There's
They keep it
Trump
highbrow,
Jr.
above the
Shoot, I gotta
fray, and
pee.
don't start flailing at everybody.
Yeah, Doug, I just
There's
want to
Trump
break in here.
Jr. and
We're seeing
Melania.
children, Donald Trump Jr.
There's the
with,
kids. The
his
kids are
fiancée,
coming in.
Kimberly Guilfoyle. We're also seeing Tiffany Trump and her
Kimberly
husband
Guilfoyle.
there as well.
Dang.
So
I
former
don't care. She's
president's family,
fine.
I want to put this up. You see
She
Marjorie
is not
Taylor
fine.
Greene there,
That's
the
makeup,
Oh,
and she's Jewish.
Georgia, the
There's
Republican.
MTG. She's not so fine.
A lot
She
of,
kind of looked like a man.
heavy hitters in the
Kimberly
Republican
Guilfoyle.
firmament,
Who's
the
her?
Democrats
Who's that chick?
coming in,
Mother-
in
and
attendance
as
Look at all
long
these
as your mother-
this
attractive
speech
people who
tonight.
walk in
So,
with
if you
Trump.
were just watching,
And then
you
you
just
look
saw
at
Donald
like
Trump
Lori
Jr.,
Lightfoot,
former president's
Fetterman.
eldest child, along with Tiffany Trump
MTG
and her new
and
husband
yeah.
as well, as they are all in attendance.
I think some people consider
for,
MTG
these
mildly
remarks that are,
attractive. I don't.
apparently going to be
I
kicking
think
off
she
in
looked
about
like a man.
15 minutes time. We're going to continue here
What?
as we approach the top of the hour.
Yeah, she
Speaking
got a
of
strong
speaking
jawline. lying,
with
Freddie.
Randy Zellin about the
And it would
nature of
explain.
the case,
It would explain why she's
and
pretty
what
based.
happens now. So, Randy, to Doug's point, he's kind of talking about
Nah,
what the
I
judge
seen
was
her working
saying.
out.
There's
She
no
be
gag
throwing that
order,
weight around
yet.
Like a
But that
man.
could change depending on
I
what
seen
the
her
Trump
working
legal
out,
team, what the
but
former president say in the
I ain't gonna
intervening,
quick to
what,
call
8
every
months.
woman a man. That's
I
like
know.
crying wolf.
I know.
Is
I know.
Then
going to be
when
as
you
this
with a
appears
girl that
in
look
court
like
next,
one,
do you
I'm like,
foresee a gag order in any?
I'm not gonna be with a girl that looks like a man.
I think a lot
I
of
mean,
it,
if it's your auntie or mama or
in
something,
terms
then
of
they
giving
laughing
you
at
an
you.
My auntie and my mama don't look like a man.
on the
If they
former
got a
president's
strong
remarks
jawline, you
tonight.
starting this
I
shit.
think
If
Anybody can say
OJ got off,
anything once you on the
if
wrong
OJ
side of the
got off,
joke.
Trump is definitely getting off. Yeah, well, I hope that wasn't Marsha Clark because she lost in the OJ case. That
Bring
look,
that back. That's MTG right there. How
yeah,
she
she just
walking.
walked in.
the former
Look at
president
that big back.
right
She
now
got,
has a
she
moment
got some.
to be.
She's
I don't want to
stacked.
see violence. I don't want to
Okay,
see
I gotta
She
pee.
in the war,
I
they
don't want to
say.
see
I gotta pee.
rudeness.
I'm
I
gonna
don't
mute
want to
you
see
because I don't know what
disrespect
you'll
for
be
the rule
saying.
of law.
I ain't
Let
gonna
the
say
system
nothing.
play out.
All right,
I am
don't say nothing
confident
crazy.
in our system of justice.
ain't.
I am confident that the right
What's up, y'all? What's up,
result is
Dean?
going to come about, and that I am going to be exonerated. But please let the
Got
system
plump
play out.
juice.
We are all Americans. We all row in
Let
the
me
same
see. Let me see.
direction.
Let me
We're all
see.
citizens of the
Is
greatest
it
country in the world.
cordless?
So please don't do
Yep.
anything but pray for me, speak out for me, but be
I'm talking to
respectful,
my
be kind
peoples.
to one another, and let the
I'm gonna go
system
over
do
here and
its
see
thing.
what
And I
y'all talking
promise
about
you,
real quick.
if you let the system do its thing,
Oh, yeah,
I'm going
Trump
to come
tell
out
me
on
yet.
top.
No.
And that's all that I would do.
Nope.
Okay, Randy, we just have to kind of.
Not
Sorry,
true.
but bring it back to reality here. I mean, he has not done that over the course of all of these
Hey,
investigations.
there's a first time for everything.
Sure. He has been
Well, let
quite
me-
outspoken. Just to let everyone know who they're seeing right there, that is Rick Grinnell. He was the former U.S. ambassador to Germany, former acting director of national intelligence in the Trump administration. I believe there also Hogan Gidley.
They
who
on
was,
stage, JS.
in the Trump White House press shop.
They rocking out on
back
stage.
during the Trump presidency.
They got some
so you're seeing
C4
a
under
lot
the
of
floor.
former staffers, former administration officials, family members of Donald Trump, all there as we await these remarks here from the former president for his
I don't
really
see
first on-camera reaction since all
Jared
of this began.
Kushner
Doug, though,
yet.
to you to talk about. Let's talk about more of what should Trump say, what should he not say? Judge Mershon made it
That
pretty
might
clear
be
he
him
doesn't
over there
want to
right
get to the
there
point
with
of
the
even
little skinny
having
neck.
to discuss a gag order
Is
on
that
this
Jared?
case. He today warned both sides to refrain from statements that may incite violence or unrest or undermine the rule of law. Now, we know Trump has gone after Alvin Bragg really whole-heartedly, vociferously, ever since this investigation got underway here. Let's talk, though, about the judge
gonna
in the
bail
case.
you out
Doug,
of
you and I
jail,
were
Daddy?
talking a couple of days ago
Daddy, don't
that he
go.
also presided over
Daddy,
the
what you
trial
want me to do?
of Trump Organization CFO Alan Weisselberg.
They gonna lock him up
he
like
is
Hustle and
intimately
Flow.
involved,
They're gonna be
with the
like,
Trumps, would you say?
MTG, say you in charge. She gonna hit her with
Yeah,
the
I
white
mean,
girl.
first, real
In
quick,
charge.
the
Say
chances
you
of
in
the
charge.
former president giving the Zellin
I'm
speech,
in charge.
it's the old joke. There are two
Look at
chances, and Slim
it.
just left town. But jokes aside,
That's a
he should
stunt
take the
double.
high road, and I don't disagree with Randy's formulation on some level. He's just never going to say respect the rule of law because that kind of subliminally
They covering up his
validates
ankle.
what's
They
going
got
on a little
they
bit. He can
covering
do
up
it a
his
little
ankle
differently,
monitor.
but I like Randy's overall formulation. As far as the judge,
Yeah.
that gets into a
Secret Service.
a dark area that we've all
They're about to
checked
set out
each
a
other
test
into the
dummy.
boards, to use a hockey analogy, on
Black
which
dude
is
didn't
called
get
the
shot.
related case
Alright.
phenomenon.
They're
Okay,
gonna
this
walk back
judge
in and bring
presided
out the
over
real
the
president.
Weisselberg case, the case against the Trump
Who's
organization.
that behind the door?
So the prosecutors took the liberty of marking it
Dude behind the door,
related,
Trump.
the Trump case related to that one. So, some commentators were saying,
Who
they
is that?
handpicked the judge and all that. Not exactly true. The judge came out of the wheel originally, randomly.
Oh,
Since he
yeah.
presided over the earlier
They
case,
plotting a
they've
coup.
related this one to him, and ostensibly the defense possibly could challenge that as well.
Yeah, Randy, your thoughts on the judge there, because to what Doug is saying, I feel, and Doug, I don't want to put words in your mouth, you're possibly alluding to down the road, possibly, a dismissal. At least that's what, I don't want to say advocating, but that's what you were arguing based on the alleged
Don Jr. sporting them
strength
Trump
of
ties,
the
looking
overall
all
case as it
retarded.
stands right now after
Everybody
the
know that pink tie
was
from
unsealed.
China.
Randy, your thoughts though
Trying
on
to
the
suck his
judge?
gut
What
in.
are we going to hear from
He's
him? Remember, we
lazy.
heard just yesterday
They
he
got
put a
that.
lot of restrictions
That
in
one
place
black
for,
guy's like got a
media
pink
access and
Kango on.
availability. There were no
Man, what's going on?
in the courtroom today, just still photographers.
Got his hair all
So will we
slicked
get
back.
to see this visually
Look
play
at
out,
her.
you think?
Judge
I'm
Cashapp,
rich.
make no mistake. You will know it is his courtroom. He runs it like it's
They
his
got their
courtroom,
claws sucking
like
their family,
it is
boy.
his home.
Family kid, the
And
kids
he
are the ones
demands
that's gonna.
respect
The
for his robes.
kids
He
are gonna be
demands
running it.
respect
Trump's
for
losing his
courtroom.
last name.
As I've said before, he is the antithesis of a Judge Lance Ito, where the OJ trial just got completely out of control. Judge Mashan is a former prosecutor. He is a rule of law judge.
Can you hear me?
A rules judge. He is a respect for the robes judge. And all you have to do with
It's
Judge
gonna be over
Mashan
with pretty
is
soon.
come to his courtroom prepared, come to his courtroom respectful, come to
I
his
can
courtroom
see it already.
being civil.
Gonna come down to the two
Come to his
families.
courtroom armed with nothing but your legal arguments.
What are
Period.
you?
Full
Are
stop.
you
And
watching
if
the
you
stream
do
or are you watching the thing on TV?
I'm watching the stream.
that, you will be
Well,
fine
then you're
with Judge
behind.
Mashan. You want to make
20
this
seconds
personal.
behind.
You want to do everything
Yeah.
but
I'm about 20
argue the
seconds behind.
facts and argue the law. Well, you will find yourself on the wrong side of Judge Mashan
I don't need to
in
watch it
about
on regular
32
TV.
seconds.
Okay, gentlemen, we are approaching almost 10 minutes out from the.
But at the same
that
time,
the speech was
do you hear what I'm
going to
saying?
begin. We'll see if that
Hold on.
stands here, but you see more.
Yeah, D. My advice is don't use bug spray. That would be my Floridian, native Floridian. But you'll be a tourist, so you probably want to use bug spray. But if you ask a native Floridian about bug spray, at least in my opinion, you don't use bug spray. And then you become immune to the mosquitoes instead of spraying a toxic chemical on you. But just get some off. Just get some off. What's better is like citronella candles. If you're gonna be, but you can't be like carrying around a citronella torch with you when you're outside. But if you're like chilling outside, have a citronella torch, that'll keep the mosquitoes away. But yeah, I don't like bug spray. I'm like anti-bug spray. I'm anti-sunscreen, anti-bug spray. Yep.
And more Trump campaign officials, those in Trump's inner orbit. Boris Epstein there, who's now on the 2024 campaign, who was also instrumental in the 2020 campaign, just walked in. Doug, Randy, and I don't want to belabor the point because viewers have been hearing this all day. I just want to talk very briefly, if we can, about the historic nature of this. I keep saying this has never happened before. Everyone has heard that all day. They've heard unprecedented. They heard uncharted waters, uncharted territory. Expound on that if you could, because yes, it's true, but we've heard it a lot today.
You must have quit. What the?
Well, I'm the armchair professor always. So in 1872, a police officer named William West decided that it would be an idea to arrest the actual president of the United States, Ulysses S. Grant.
Oh, Ulysses S. Grant got arrested. So this isn't the first time a president been arrested. Oh shoot.
Because that was
Ulysses S. Grant got arrested.
He said a cop.
Look,
I guess a cop tried to arrest.
This is no big deal.
Ulysses S. Grant pulled him over, and it didn't work out too good.
In other countries with other leaders, and truth be told, the anticipation of it, the thinking about it, that is what really makes it unprecedented. It's over with already. It's done. And as I said earlier, the world is still spinning. It's going to
See,
be
this guy just said it's over.
Tomorrow we're all going to get up and do it again. We all survived this. There was a first time for everything. Unfortunately,
This guy just said it's over. It's done.
we've managed to go up until today, our entire history.
Hell, Trump's
a leader of our country,
retard.
the leader of
Look,
the
Trump's
free
gonna
world,
come out and say,
never
"I
been
handled
charged with a
everything in
crime."
court today."
Okay,
It's all right. It's all
Let's
over.
all move on.
They
So
told him you tried to
think
incite
the
a
drama
riot.
is
It was
actually
just another
resolved.
witch hunt.
At this
Just
point,
another
we
witch hunt.
should
Yeah, he better
see
not
it
say
for
that
what it
either.
is.
We're
and
gonna come
move
back
on,
stronger.
And let's get focused in on
My
Right.
MAGA Republicans, the ultra MAGA, are revitalized,
can the prosecution
rejuvenated,
prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt?
refined.
Yes or no?
Picked up some stragglers from the left that decided to convert along the way. So there's some weirdos out there too.
The last couple of days have been quite surreal. We have not been treated to that ever.
That's right.
But do you think this is going
Did
to
you
get
see
to
that?
trial? I know I keep kind of
That trans person wearing a MAGA hat at the protest today, yelling and getting in people's faces and trying to start fights, drunk as all get out, slurring, "I'm a trans. We're gonna take." And dude, that was an op if I've ever seen an op, or it was a newly converted former leftist. Like this person like lost their job to COVID or something. Like some crazy happened, and Biden did something, and it ruined this
Right.
whole person's life. My Bitcoin crashed.
leading the way.
Bitcoin crash. They ain't crashed yet.
Hey, that's a good thing to like convert people, change people's minds, is to make them mad. So Biden's making Democrats mad. That's good.
Says no, we're going to pass on it. Then they will make an application to the Court of Appeals.
Some don't
This
like
case
Democrats
will be
or
in
Republicans.
typical Trump fashion.
Most people
They
just
will
hate
use
whoever's
every
in
legal
charge.
tool at their disposal.
They
to
hate
delay,
whoever's in
delay,
power.
Delay this, and it may end up getting delayed because if the
You know
Georgia
how
find the
Joel
11,000
tried to say,
votes,
you see how
that
God
indictment
provides
comes
for the
down,
birds and the
or the
animals?
feds indict
They
on
don't have to
classified documents, or the feds indict
need
on
for
January
food
6th,
or
then
need
this
for
case
this.
is a yawn and
Man, you
completely
go out
forgotten.
there and try to fish without
Doug,
a
I want to
fishing
get back,
license.
and Randy, I want to get back
Lay
though,
somewhere
to possible
on a
gag
property you
orders.
ain't
We had
got
a
a
question
deed
from
to,
a viewer. If a judge
or
does
live
issue
like
a
an
gag order,
animal,
the judge is
your
sitting
ass
in
going to
state court
jail.
in New York. Would it apply if the
You
president,
can't live
former
nowhere
president,
for free.
rather, is at Mar-a-Lago
So
in
to
Florida?
try
Are
to
there
act like you're gonna
geographic
get
boundaries when
grace
it
from
comes to
I
God,
get what
from
he was
land
saying, and I also get what you're
living off
saying.
the earth. Living off the
That's a
earth.
great question.
You ain't gonna get nothing
Excellent
living off
question.
the earth.
But if you go out in the middle of nowhere, you're not gonna need a fishing license. You can go out.
Somebody gonna say you trespassing.
Not if it's
You build a house in
like
the middle of
BLM,
nowhere.
if it's BLM land, or if it's certain national park land, you'd be fine. You just go out in the woods. Nobody's gonna find you. I could go out in the woods. I could drive 2 hours right now and be somewhere where I wouldn't see a human being for months on
If a
end.
helicopter ride by and see you, and they come down there and tell you you gotta pack your
Helicopter's
shit
not gonna ride by and see somebody in a tent camping and say, "Oh, we gotta go
Man,
get
they
them."
gonna see a field of marijuana. They
Ain't
can see
nobody
a
got
field.
time for that. We're not growing a field of marijuana.
I'm just saying, helicopters ride by regardless. They ain't gotta be looking
Yeah, but
for you. They
helicopters are
for
looking for
marijuana.
fields of marijuana. They're not looking for somebody chilling in a tent by
And if
themselves with a
if they
dog.
see a hot light, they gonna come check on you. I
Why are you
bet
gonna
you.
have a hot light? You're not growing pot in the woods.
I'm saying your body's gonna give off a
You think
light.
a
Your thermal
helicopter sees
energy. Your own thermal
somebody
energy.
on BLM land with a tent
Your
and a
thermal
campfire
energy.
chilling?
Yes.
You think the helicopter's
Yes.
touching down and like,
I'm not
get
issuing a
them?
gag order, but behave yourself.
I bet
because
you
if
they'd
you
be
don't,
like, all right,
you
we
may
got
be
somebody.
right
We're gonna
back
go
here in
see what
front
they
of me again.
doing.
And we've all been through that many
No,
times.
no.
All right, how much society you
I guess,
think live
Randy,
in the
to you,
woods?
what happens tomorrow?
I think.
And
What
why you think they
happens
don't?
after
How
that?
much
Why
of
don't you
society?
think?
Maybe like
Why don't you
1%.
think the
Are we not gonna be
BLM
hearing
land's
updates
been
about this
domesticated
particular
like
case
regular houses
until
being built on
December,
it?
or will there be motions?
Why don't
No,
you
we
think
have
they have trucks just
we have protected
no?
lands in America
Get an
that
indictment
people
Okay,
aren't
but this
building
land
on.
you're talking
rescind
about,
the
the
indictment?
land
Does
you're
that ever
talking
happen?
about.
There's lots of
And you
land.
No,
can,
what would happen
Lots
is
of
the
so you
public
can
indictment
lands,
you
continues
can
lots
to
of
start
progress.
cutting
national
down
parks,
trees
and you can
and
go
make a
there and you can
concrete
camp there.
foundation. I'm not. See, you want to make it like, oh, it's free.
The indictment
No,
puts
you can
this-
camp, and as
so
soon
we're
as
all
they say
going to
you live
wake
in
up
there,
and
your
say,
ass gotta
wow.
go.
What's the difference between living somewhere and camping somewhere? Do you know?
Camping's temporary.
No, that's not true. It has to do with
Camping is temporary.
the structure you're living in legally. I've looked into this before, pretty in depth. I can't remember all the legal jargon right now for you, but there's certain stipulations that have to be met. And so if you have like a tent and you have a camp stove and you don't have a
Yes, it's
toilet, you
temporary
don't have
living.
You don't have electricity. You don't have running water. You don't have 4 walls. You don't have a plumbing and a toilet. Then it is camping. So most cities
Hopefully
will
it'll be a
say
beautiful
specifically
day.
have laws that say no camping. But if there's not a law that says you can't camp, you can camp there.
And we will go about our business. And that may wake up the public, but I think for the most part.
And if a helicopter passes over somebody camping on BLM lands, they're not gonna care. Even if they see them every single day in the same spot, it's fine. Now, if you're on like some city park trying to camp, yeah, that's not gonna work. Did Discord cut out?
Yes, we all were waiting. Was New York going to fall into the East River and float away? Was there going?
Discord's working. It's on your end.
Impede his ability to run for office whatsoever.
QAnons must be freaking
Doug
out.
Being the historian, I'll jump on Doug's
What in the world did I come to
Lyndon
again?
LaRouche ran for
Trump's about to do a speech.
1972 after having been convicted of tax fraud. And back in the 20s, I think there was a gentleman named Wise who actually ran for president from jail. So the only disqualifier for President Trump would be if he were convicted of treason. Right now, he's over the age of 35, was born in the United States, and has been here for 14 years. Those are the only things that disqualify him, except under the 14th Amendment, if he were convicted of sedition or treason.
His last name was Drumpf. Is he
Okay,
about to walk out?
Just trying to maybe play out some of those scenarios play out.
Yep. It's about to start.
If he wasn't a candidate.
Freddie, your Discord's not working.
Very moment. Obviously, that is a big factor and stipulation. What would he be facing? As far as possible prison time if he got convicted?
He'd be facing a maximum.
Well, if he weren't a candidate? No, I mean, I think if he weren't a candidate, I think Randy would agree. The case would probably move along quicker. To me, a big sort of hint of the overall landscape is this question of making the first conference all the way out in December. I mean, I've gone to court hundreds of times, and so has Randy, of course. And, the first conference is in a month or two, and we regroup and we talk about motion schedules and all of that. So the fact that the next time is December. But I liked your question, though, Andrew, which is what's really going to happen day to day, because that's an open question. There's two possibilities there. Possibility one is it really does go into a lull and everybody knows, oh, yeah, they'll be back in December and that's it. Let's go on with our other activities. Or two, we get these breathless reports. There's the lawyer. He just came out of the clerk's office. He filed a motion. I expect it'll be somewhere in the middle. You're not going to have breathless, coverage every minute, et cetera, et cetera. Because let's face it, what we just went through the last couple of days is just, it's incredible. The plane is now taxied out 10 feet, Jim, back to you. I mean, really micromanaged because people are interested in it. But I don't think you're going to see that now between now and December. But I think you'll see some reporting, but not breathless every
By the way, when you want to say the word to battle.
But Andrew, to your point, in terms of pure
I want to
a max of 4 years.
I want to, Mario, but I want to watch this, and I'm not going to be able to focus very well. Let me watch this speech. I'm not sure how long it's going to be, and then it might be too late for you when it's over. But
years on each of the E felonies, a max of a year on the misdemeanors. Since Doug had mentioned earlier, these really arise out of two transactions, Stormy Daniels and Karen McDougal. So no, you don't stack them. It's not 4 years on each of the felonies. And if they were reduced to misdemeanors, a year on each of the misdemeanors. And again, Donald Trump or Randy Zellin or Doug Burns, nobody's going into jail in this case.
Nobody's going to jail.
136 seconds, 1 second in jail, let alone 136 years. And again, truth be told,
136
really,
years.
If anything, right now, it may.
That's what Freddie thinks could happen.
Up his base. It may create a boost in the polling, particularly if there are people really latching on to this notion that this is a political prosecution. As you said, if it weren't the president, would this prosecution even be brought? I think it'd be tough to say that the answer would be, yeah, it would be brought anyway.
No.
Okay, can I just game out another scenario with you gentlemen here? We're past the 5:15 mark on the West Coast. We're past 8:15 there in Florida. In Mar-a-Lago, we were expecting former President Trump right at 15. He is running a little bit late, but I have another question.
Dang.
And this is a legal
Trump
question
late.
as well.
He's running
in the
late.
event that it is getting serious for the Trump legal team, and possibly they're getting close to trying this. They don't know how the jury is going to be faring about this. Would there ever be a situation where they could change, former President Trump could change his plea of not guilty, take a guilty plea, make a deal? Are you foreseeing that in the near future at all? Is that necessary?
That is never going to happen in this case. Not to be so dogmatic about it, but it's just never going to happen because the president, former president, is just completely dug into the idea that he did nothing wrong. I mean, some people have said, and they're right. One commentator said, I'm sure that Joe Tacopina and company may try to, have a dialogue with the district attorney. The logical play, of course, would be one count of a misdemeanor. But again, the thing's just way, way too toxic. But I wanted to game out another scenario, to use your phrase, Andrew, and that is, let's get to the law school plenum hypothetical. What if he doesn't get the nomination? Are you kidding me? Then nobody's going to want to try this case. They could care less about this case.
Huh.
Okay, and obviously that is bringing in the paramount, obvious political considerations at play here. Just want to reset for the viewers.
Trump running late.
Joining as we await former President Donald Trump there in Mar-a-Lago to deliver remarks for his response to this historic arraignment.
Schizophrenia.
Today, there in New York City. You watched him land there on the tarmac at Palm Beach International. So it's been a pretty long, trying day here. And so the former president, I can imagine and expect many of you want to hear what he has to say. He has been quite active, quite prolific, though, on social media, on Truth Social, posting really through this. And it does look like we do have some movement behind those American flags here. So, Doug, Randy, we appreciate your time here. We're going to keep this up. We're going to watch and wait for the former president. There you can see his son Eric Trump and his daughter-in-law Laura Trump. Let's just listen to some of the sounds in the building here.
Copyright music.
Okay, and you also see there Jason Miller.
Fox is like, nope, copyright.
Trump 2024
I think Fox could play the copyright music.
Also Dan Scavino there, who used to run social media in the Trump White House. So a lot of Trump inner world fixtures, like I said, in the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago, waiting to hear the former president make these remarks. It'll be his first time on camera responding to this historic arraignment today. There you can see members of the
he was putting out those little videos on Forbes. Those little, there he is. Those little speech clips on Forbes, like every day. And then when this happens, he's been kind of silent for about.
All right, and this is Andrew Kraft here yet again. We want to thank you all for being with us here on this day in U.S. history, this unprecedented, historic day. Former President Donald Trump flying to New York City last night, facing the
Why? Because I like those states.
In Lower Manhattan. We also heard from the DA, who is bringing the case, Alvin Bragg. We'll be playing out some of those comments a little bit later. We also heard briefly from Trump's legal team as well, right outside the courthouse, in that scrum of reporters issuing their thoughts on the case. It does look like the former president is making his way into the
He hates oranges. I love oranges. Where at least I know I'm free, and I won't. I can't play that. It's copyright music, y'all. It's copyright. There's Trump. Trump. Or stop.
The only crime that I have committed is to fearlessly defend our nation from those who seek to destroy it. From the beginning, the Democrats spied on my campaign. Remember that? They attacked me with an onslaught of fraudulent investigations. Russia, Russia. Ukraine. Impeachment hoax number 1.
Oh, man, I'm hitting the nail on the head so far, guys.
Illegal and unconstitutional raid on Mar-a-Lago right here. FBI and DOJ relentlessly pursuing Republicans, the unconstitutional changes to election laws by not getting approvals from state legislators, the millions of votes illegally stuffed into ballot boxes and all caught on government cameras. And just recently, the FBI and DOJ in collusion with Twitter and Facebook in order not to say anything bad about the Hunter Biden laptop from him.
God, hitting the nail on the head. Trump said, what do you think he's going to say, JS? This?
17-point difference in the election result. And we needed a lot less than that, like about 16.9. It would have been in our favor, not my favor, our favor, because our country is going to hell. And we remember the 51 intelligence agents who said Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. It didn't exist. It was Russian disinformation. Remember that? And that was all confirmed strongly by the FBI when they all knew that it wasn't Russian disinformation. And so much more. Our elections were like those of a third world country. And now this massive election interference at a scale never seen before in our country, beginning with the radical left, George Soros-backed prosecutor Alvin Bragg of New York, who campaigned on the fact that he would get President Trump. I'm going to get him. I'm going to get him. This is a guy campaigning. You want to get President Trump at any cost, and this before he knew anything about me, didn't know a thing about me. He was campaigning. As it turns out, virtually everybody that has looked at this case, including rhinos and even hardcore Democrats, say there is no crime and that it should never have been brought. Never have been brought. Ever. Even people that aren't big fans have said it. They said this is not the right thing to do. It's an insult to our country, as the world is already laughing at us for so many other reasons, like our open borders, our incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan, where we left behind American citizens, $85 billion worth of the best military equipment in the world, lost 13 magnificent young lives, and far too many to mention that are so badly hurt with the loss of arms and legs and facial obliteration. The most embarrassing time in our country's history, in my opinion. Then our give up on energy independence and even energy dominant. We're going to be dominant within 6 months, more than any other nation ×2. We had this all just 3 years ago. Our raging crime statistics, if you look in Democrat-run cities, numbers the likes of which we have never seen before. The open threats by various countries of the use of nuclear weapons, something never mentioned or discussed by outside nations during the Trump administration, and which could very well lead under the Biden administration's leadership to an all-out nuclear World War III. Can happen. We're not very far away from it, believe it or not. An economy that has been crippled by the biggest inflation we have seen in more than 60 years, and a military that I used to defeat ISIS in 4 weeks. They said it would take 4 years. 4 weeks.
They said
to kill al-Baghdadi and
Vaseline would
Soleimani.
take 3 years. He did it in 9
That
months.
has now gone woke at the top levels by trying to indoctrinate everyone down to the lowest ranking patriot. But now they have really stepped up their efforts by indicting the 45th president of the United States, who received 75 million votes, which is more than any sitting president in the history of our country.
But somehow he was beaten by 6 million votes by Joe Biden.
And in the wings, they've got a local racist Democrat district attorney in Atlanta who is doing everything in her power to indict me over an absolutely perfect phone call, even more perfect than the one I made with the president of Ukraine. Remember, I kept saying that's a perfect call. This one was more perfect. Nobody said, sir, you shouldn't say that. Many people on the phone.
See, there's levels to perfect.
Were hung up in disgust because of something I inappropriately said. Because nothing was said wrong. In fact, at the end of the call, we agreed to continue our conversation about election fraud, and election fraud specifically in Georgia at a later time. Many people on the phone, including lots of lawyers, nobody found anything wrong with that perfect call until a book promotion tour many months later. All of a sudden they say, you know, I remember Trump making a call.
Yep.
Let's look at that. This fake case was brought only to interfere with the upcoming 2024 election, and it should be dropped immediately. Then you have a radical left lunatic known as a bomb thrower who is harassing hundreds of my people day after day over the boxes hoax. You know, the boxes hoax, as we call it. Just so everyone knows, I come under what's known as the Presidential Records Act, which was designed and approved by Congress long ago.
Right.
Just for
What
this
about
reason.
Joe's? What about Joe's
Under
boxes?
the act, I'm supposed to negotiate.
He had those
with NARA, the
boxes
National Archives
when he didn't have that
Records
presidential
Administration,
protection. He was a vice president.
which as of this date is a radical left troublemaking organization that red flags the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights as dangerous and triggering. Can you imagine? This is what we have to deal with. But there is no criminality under the Presidential Records Act. That is not what it's all about. We were negotiating in very good faith, proper way, in order to return some or all of the documents that I openly and in very plain sight brought with me to Mar-a-Lago from our beautiful
I'm
White
hungry.
House, just
I
as
need to eat
virtually
something.
every other president has done in the past.
Experimental
When
vaccines.
FBI and DOJ officials with narrow
Right. I mean, honestly,
I told my lawyer to show them
that's
the
like a double-edged sword because he should
secure
lean into
storage
the vaccine because
in
it
which
was
they were locked.
crazy how fast they came out with that.
The FBI's
And
sole request in writing was,
but his
"Could you
base
please put another lock?"
will get all mad if he talks about it.
We immediately complied.
But really, the Democrats should eat that up. They should love him for the vaccine. They've had 20 already.
The
They
next
should
thing
love
I
him for
know,
that.
we were raided by many
All the Democrats I was talking to
gun-toting
when
FBI
COVID started who were freaking out
who
over
took whatever
COVID,
they wanted, including
I said,
my passports and
we need to get a
medical
vaccine and then you guys will all calm down because you won't have
Everybody
to be
was in
worried.
shock. Nobody had ever heard of
And
such
they're like,
a
no,
raid
there's not going to
before.
be a vaccine for 4 years, 2.5 at the very least. He had a vaccine out in
I
9 months.
immediately thought of the Fourth Amendment that protects
They
against
should love that.
unreasonable search and seizure.
And I
But
think
they
that's a
did it
good
anyway
thing. If
because
you
our
come out with the
justice
vaccine, that's a good thing because then the people who are scared and the people who are addicted to the medical
using
big
it now
pharma system
in
can
addition
take
to
their little
everything
vaccine,
else to
and then
win
if it turns out bad, it wipes them out.
Apparently they're not
All right,
looking
that's
at me
fine.
through the view
But
of the
what they did was they
non-criminal
forced it on
Presidential
people.
Records
That's what
Act.
I don't like. Is
They
when
came
they
up
force
with a
something
new
on
one.
people.
This is a new one. And they're looking at me through the Espionage Act.
And Trump never tried to force a vaccine on nobody. He just cut
Where the penalty,
red tape to make it come out faster. Operation Warp Speed was a
even though
good
that
thing.
has absolutely nothing to do with openly taking boxes of documents and mostly clothing and other things to my home, which President Obama has done, the Bushes have done, Jimmy Carter's done, Ronald
Now
Reagan
what?
has done.
I mean, I never took it, so I don't have to worry
Everybody's
about
done.
it.
In fact, Hillary Clinton got rid of 33,000 emails, and that was okay.
He said he was the father.
Nobody's
of
done it
facts or
like Joe
whatever.
Biden.
Yeah, because that would be a smart
This
thing to
lunatic
say.
special prosecutor named Jack
If
Smith,
half the
I wonder
country
what it was
thinks
prior
that
to
it's a
its
miracle drug that they need. The problem is when he
Others
says
of
stuff
his
like
ilk
that,
say
his side lashes
he's
out at
even
him
worse
because
than
they don't
they are.
understand what he's saying.
He's only looking at Trump, yet Joe Biden took massive amounts more documents, even removed many boxes to Chinatown. You believe that? Just got $10 million from China. Where did that come from? I guess they were banking
The only
on
thing that would have
Hunter's
stopped
expertise.
the lockdowns And all the people who were afraid from being afraid was the vaccine.
Strewn all over his
Yeah, he was the father of Warp Speed. He didn't create the vaccine or anything. He just cut red tape and shortened times to get it out, which may have had negative effects.
Perhaps most importantly,
but at least the people who wanted it got it.
1,850 boxes in Delaware.
The problem is not the vaccine. The problem is the government forcing us to take the vaccine.
But isn't that real obstruction? That's obstruction. As president, I have the right to declassify documents.
I could care less about a vaccine because I didn't get it, so I don't have to worry about it.
If I take them with me, it's automatic.
But if there's somebody who is living their life in fear and freaking out, but when your jobs,
no right to declassify as vice president.
They start asking for vaccine cards and jobs want you to get the vaccine, that's the problem I have. I don't have a problem with there being a vaccine and a vaccine coming out quickly for something that is fear-mongering people to death.
He had classified documents.
I just have a problem when they force it
while
on
he
him.
was a senator, which is absolutely inexcusable. And other senators, including Democrats, are outraged. But he's not being harassed and hounded like the people who work for me are. In fact, they seem to have forgotten about his documents entirely. So many, thousands and thousands.
He's talking about Biden.
They like to say that I'm obstructing, which I'm not, because I was working with NARA very nicely until the raid on my home. But Biden is obstructing by making it impossible to get the 1,850 boxes or explain why many documents were located in Chinatown. Can't explain it. Why were they in Chinatown? I don't know. Lastly, I'm under investigation. This time a civil investigation.
I think he does
by
know.
another racist in reverse, who also campaigned on, I will get Trump. I will get him. This was her campaign. Never ran for office. I will get him. Her name is Letitia James. And she proclaimed while
A racist in
quote,
reverse.
I look forward to going into the office of the Attorney General every single day, suing him, and then going home. Just before she knew me. She announced, what is fueling my soul right now is Trump.
Crazy.
And that she had her eyes on Trump Tower. Those
I
eyes
wish
are
him
focused
well,
on
Lord
Trump.
Spike.
Didn't know the young
I
lady.
wish him well. I hope
She even assured her supporters
turns
in an
out all
election
right.
promise that we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the ass. He's going to know my name personally. Yeah. And then she claimed that I was an illegitimate president. Think of it. With all we did on energy, with all we did on the military, on taxes.
Did somebody just say F Joe Biden? It sounded like somebody just said Joe Biden.
History, right to try. People able to get drugs now that aren't approved. Hopefully you don't have.
And see, that's the idea behind the Vaseline, is the right to try. It builds on the right to try thing. That allowed people to try drugs that weren't approved to see. So if these people are scared to death of COVID, they should be praising Trump for bringing out the vaccine because, yes, it was an experimental drug. It was probably put out too early, but you got the right to try it. If you want to try it, you got the right to try it. So again, the problem is when they began saying you're going to lose your job, or I couldn't go to a card tournament because they were checking vaccine cards at the door. I could have made a fake one, but I didn't want to go. I didn't want to. I was like, you know, if it's like that, I don't even want to go. I wanted to take a trip down to Florida for a big regionals card tournament, and they were checking dang Vaseline cards. So I was like, no, I'm not going.
This is why, along with
People losing their jobs. That's the problem.
so
When
many
they forced
people
us to
and
take
companies
it.
are leaving.
The problem isn't that an experimental drug was released too early, and if people want to take it to quell their fears, even if it was what's the word that starts with a P? Placebo. Even if it was a placebo,
And in
like
all cases, have a strong disclaimer
it would,
clause
if
in
it
them
made
which
people,
tells
made the Democrats who were
institutions
fearing for
that
their
may look
lives
at
calm
if they
down,
want to, not
then
to
bring it
rely
out.
on the state.
You got the right to try.
But
Try
they've
it.
got a problem with their case because, number one, I'm very underleveraged. They can't believe it. All the stuff they
And Trump never imposed it on anybody. He never said that we should force it on people. He said, if you want it, take it. If you don't,
and
don't.
Importantly, not one bank has lost even $1. She was investigating me to save banks. They have very good lawyers. But they didn't lose $1 with us during this period of time. In fact, the banks
Murder in the
we're
streets
talking
again.
about
Oh, no.
made almost $200 million off Donald Trump, and they liked me very much. We never missed a payment, never got a default notice, had a great relationship with all of them. I don't need banks. We have a lot of cash. I built a great business with my family, built a fantastic business. I have a son here who's done a great job, and I have another son here who's done a great job.
I was supposed to be recording this.
And Ivanka and Barron will be great someday. He's tall, and he's smart. But I have a great family, and they've done a fantastic job, and we appreciate it very much. They've done it. So she's suing me over banks that weren't defrauded, when she should be focused on violent crime that's driving people out of the state. This is a persecution, not an investigation. She's put our family through hell. It's cost hundreds of millions of dollars to defend, but our heads are held very, very high. They want to settle the case, but I want no part of that. So here we are now. It's where we were today, in a city that was so great just 4 or 5 years ago. But now we're there. Spend time there today, as you possibly read.
I'm going to have to go back and screen capture when Freddie asked me what I thought he was going to say. And I did my impression, and then I'm gonna like do it. I'm gonna clip it up so that it's like I say it, then he says it. I say it, then he says it.
Virtually everyone. But it's far worse than that, because he knew there was no case. That's why last week he delayed for a month and then immediately took that back and threw this ridiculous indictment together. Came out today, everybody said, this is not really an indictment, there's nothing here. My lawyers came to me and they said, there's nothing here, they're not even saying what you did. The criminal is the district attorney because he illegally leaked massive amounts of grand jury information, for which he should be prosecuted, or at a minimum, he should resign. And Alvin Bragg's wife confirmed a report that claimed her husband has Trump nailed on felonies. She has since locked down her Twitter account. His chief prosecutor, who represented the Democrats and crooked Hillary Clinton in a firm run by Chuck Schumer's brother, Robert, he quit the firm in order to go to work in the DA office.
He's dropping bombs on everybody right now. He's pissed.
Hillary Clinton's lawyer, Democrat firm. Ultimately, he quit as chief prosecutor because Bragg didn't think he had a case. Think of that same guy that brought this ridiculous thing today. Yet during his investigation, this prosecutor named Mark Pomerantz published a book saying all sorts of privileged things.
He's naming all of them.
Has been very strongly reprimanded. He was reprimanded so strongly. I've never seen anything like it. That's probably the end of it. But what he did was probably very illegal. But he was very, very strongly reprimanded. Even District Attorney Bragg was furious with him. They were having a tremendous fight in the office because of it. But hope is never lost because various prosecutors in the DA's office also quit because they thought President Trump was being treated very unfairly. How about that? Isn't that great? Oh, I love them. I'd like to meet them. I'd like to meet them. The DA's office even had a webpage. Meet the team of executives who have done this to President Trump. That was the title. Isn't that nice? They immediately had to take it down. Meanwhile, overall crime in New York was up 30% last year. Much more than that the year before, with felony assaults, robberies, and burglaries all up by massive, massive numbers. Not the same place that I know, not the same place that you know. And this is where we are right now. I have a Trump-hating judge with a Trump-hating wife and family whose daughter worked for Kamala Harris and now receives money from the Biden-Harris campaign and a lot of men. We recently had another trial, and the same judge told the fine man who worked for me for many, many years that if you admit your guilt, you will be in jail for 90 days. But if you don't, if we go through a trial and you're found guilty, you're going away for 10 years and maybe longer.
Oh, whatever.
Which for a 75-year-old man with a great family really means life. What the prosecutors and judge did to that man, I will never forget, because it's right out of the old Soviet Union. That's where we are.
Yeah.
They said, you say anything about Trump, meaning that's bad, and you won't even have to serve the 90 days. You'll walk free. And they say that to many of my employees. We have this Jack Smith lunatic threatening people every single day through his representatives.
He's naming everybody.
They're threatening jail terms. But talk about Trump and you'll go free. This is where we are as a nation. Who would have thought they can't beat us at the ballot box, so they try and beat us through the law. That's the country in which we live, however, right now. The USA is a mess. Our economy is crashing. Inflation is out of control. Russia has joined with China. Can you believe that? Saudi Arabia has joined with Iran. China, Russia, Iran, and North
What's
Korea
up, Tommy?
formed together.
Discord's
a menacing
open.
and destructive coalition would have never happened.
You want to jump in the Discord and say what up, but you got to be quiet.
Would never have happened. Nor would Russia attacking Ukraine have happened. All of those lives would be saved. All of those beautiful cities would be standing. Our currency is crashing and will soon no longer be the world standard, which will be our greatest defeat, frankly, in 200 years. There will be no defeat like that. That will take us away from being even a great power. If you took the 5 worst presidents in the history of the United States and added them up, they would not have done near the destruction to our country as Joe Biden and the Biden administration have done. Incredibly, we are now a failing nation. We are a nation in decline. And now these radical left lunatics want to interfere with our elections by using law enforcement. We can't let that happen. With all of this being said, and with a very dark cloud over our beloved country, I have no doubt, nevertheless, that we will make America great again.
Let's go.
God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
I think he's pissed. He's dropping all the names.
Okay, so you have been listening there to former President Donald Trump speaking to his crowd of supporters there in the Mar-a-Lago ballroom there in West Palm Beach.
Right.
He started off his, about 20, 25-minute long statement there with a long preface of the litany of investigations that are ongoing into his conduct related to the Jack Smith special counsel probe the DOJ is conducting there into his actions leading up to and on January 6, 2021, the Capitol riot. Also, he spoke at length about the investigation going on, that sister investigation Jack Smith is conducting into the FBI raid there at Mar-a-Lago last August that found numerous classified documents that were not returned after former President Trump left the presidency. He's being at least alleged on obstruction charges there.
Man, quit worried about Biden's documents.
And then, of course, he spoke at length about the
and they ain't worried about Biden's documents.
Investigation that District Attorney there, Fannie Willis, is
look,
conducting.
I found these. Y'all didn't even know they was missing. Tighten up.
Interference there in the 2020 election.
You can't punish a man for telling y'all to tighten up on y'all records, keeper.
That was given to the Washington Post on January
That ain't what Trump did. They said you got our records.
And
he said, no, I don't.
Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger and others saying to find 11,000 some votes in order to make up the difference.
You know exactly what
that he had
about.
Lost. Now,
if one person handed over
he then finally
the records and one person wouldn't,
the issue at hand
that's
here,
the
now arraignment he underwent today in Lower Manhattan, going after District Attorney Alvin
ain't nothing
Bragg
stolen if they didn't know it was
a
missing. So when you return something that was missing, if they didn't know it was missing, how can it be a crime?
This, and these are his words, is only being done to interfere in the outcome of the 2020 presidential election. Now, there are some claims
Don't play that.
About the
somebody
2020
returned,
presidential election
but you didn't know was missing.
Of course, that he
how you gonna charge them with a crime?
President Biden won, of course,
don't play that.
6 electoral votes. The Trump campaign and his allies, remember, mounted 60-plus lawsuits in several different battleground states. And lost most of them that you just saw. Failed Arizona gubernatorial candidate Carrie Lake in the ballroom as well. It's interesting to see who all these Trump world figures are who came out for this speech. He also made some claims as well about the 2020 election contest that he lost.
Get out of here.
And remember,
that
multiple
nonsense.
federal agencies at the time said there was not a substantial amount of fraud to have overturned the election.
Yeah, make America great
as they
again.
stand there, of course, you recognize that face.
Back when the Indians roamed free. Native Americans, I'm sorry.
Has been quite a proponent of these.
For the Mayflowers and the Pinta and the Santa Maria.
Dan Scavino there, who used to run social media in the Trump White House. Now remember, he's also.
All right. I'll catch up with you.
Going after now President Biden.
No, he was in the chat a second ago.
Matters and issues
he threw a thumbs up.
He would do differently if he were president right now, hammering him on his handling of the war in Ukraine, high gas prices, what have you. Now, he spoke at length about some of the investigations going on surrounding President Biden's son, Hunter Biden. We know there are several congressional investigations looking into Hunter Biden's dealings with China as a business partner, sitting on some boards there. Now, remember, President Biden is not under investigation.
Of course he's not. See, they just said it too.
Some of the alleged improprieties that former President Trump made today in this speech. Hunter Biden, of course, is under investigation at the level of the DOJ for certain infractions when it has to do with taxes.
Also got some other decks I want to play, but I gotta
we'll see how that plays out. But remember, Hunter Biden, President Biden, they have not been indicted. They have not been charged with a crime. Today, former President Donald Trump becoming the first former president in history to be indicted and arraigned on a crime. There you see his longtime ally and supporter, Roger Stone, there at Mar-a-Lago.
The tournament's to win, Sunday or Saturday?
Saturday.
So right now we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll be bringing on more analysis, more experts, reporters as well, to go into the political aspect of this. Now that this has indeed happened today, how does that affect the 2024 presidential primary contest? How will this affect former President Trump's campaign schedule? Remember, he does not have to appear in court again until December the 4th. So We wanted to air all of that in its entirety here on Live Now from Fox. This has been the story of the day, and we have been on it from the very beginning.
These people is
Just yesterday,
retarded.
when he made his way from Palm Beach to New York, spent the night there at Trump Tower, and then made the way from Trump Tower to Lower Manhattan today to face that arraignment on this indictment. 34 felony counts. I'm Andrew Kraft. As we approach the top of the hour, we're going to take just a quick commercial break here.
Mario, do you know how to play
in just a moment.
Red Sin?
What is it called?
Sin.
Red Sin.
Red Sin. If Trump said he was for reparations, he would get a lot more votes. But not enough to get bet. Yeah. Not enough to beat them.
Yeah, he would. All he got to say is reparations.
Red Sin is a deck I swore never to play. I know, I understand. I think a lot of people feel that way until it comes tournament time, and then they break out the Red Sin because they just want to top. Because I never played against any Red Sin. You want me to start a game? He's on delay. You ready? Okay, I'm going to start it. Let me find some video to play. So what was Hake supposed to be? Where was Hake supposed to be debating at? You know the channel? Oh, it's right now. It's live.
Going after the greatest president.
Oh, it's nice to see modern day debate doing something other than flat Earth for once. Very
now, the crime I'm going to bring up is obviously far more serious. It's ridiculously, infinitely more serious. However, I believe I remember a certain police officer using what they titled an illegal.
I still need practice for Android 21. Or Pan. A strong red deck. Okay. But does this see? So the reason is because I want to test when I side in things like Shin and really just Shin. If that deck doesn't play Gogeta, then I wouldn't side in Sin. Oh yeah, I was gonna put 2 Saiyan synergies in my side deck for extra negates for red decks. All right, Chad, it's about to get boring. We'll be listening to this
chokehold on an individual during the Trump presidency, and whether or not I agree that or disagree there could be any such thing as an illegal chokehold when it comes to doing your job, especially in those stressful situations like that. As a veteran,
competitive,
sometimes things happen. That being said, Trump was 100% in my memory. You could tell me if I'm wrong, and I would believe you. I would hold you at that. Trump was 100% in the officer's favor. He said, "Hey, this officer did a great job on this day," and I want to say that he actually went down and met the guy and did a shout out to that police department and whatnot. So even for someone to say he was a law and order president, maybe there was some order upon that, but I don't remember the law being held in that one.
Now, I don't know which specific case this was. I can't necessarily comment because of that, but I know that there was a supposed chokehold or maybe a seatbelt maneuver, which is okay, by Officer Daniel Pantaleo during the Obama administration, I think it was, in 2014 against Eric.
Hold on
Garner,
1 second, Mario. Let me close Final Fantasy.
And it ended that day.
He
was badly out of shape and he
do
couldn't
all this
handle
tech
the stress.
stuff
And I think he died of a heart attack after the fact. But he was saying he couldn't breathe and he was on his stomach. It's hard to breathe when you're on the stomach and you're overweight like that.
1 second, Mario.
Anyway, I don't know if Trump honored that guy, Officer Pantaleo, but Black Lives Matter, who are not about justice and not about blacks or lives or life.
All right.
They were campaigning and campaigning and campaigning for that guy to be fired, and eventually they got him fired.
I guess I'm going first.
And I think it was under that
that
socialist mayor,
charge.
Bill de Blasio, that they finally got that done. And what a shame. A lot of decent cops have been railroaded, driven away from their jobs, and crime has gotten more and more out of control.
Pan can go pretty wild, but not on
attacks
turn
on
one.
police.
And see, I think that I separate myself as a veteran from people of the law in America because they're supposed to be holding law against other Americans who have rights. We have our amendments.
Yeah. What's up, Tommy?
Of them. I support all of them.
Freddie can't hear.
We're proud of having them. We're proud of having that freedom. And so when an officer does get out of line and does do something that endangers, specifically when it ends up resulting in the life of another American citizen, tax-paying, free American, I think that they should be held accountable for those actions, for sure. They're responsible for other people's lives in a different way, a far different way than the president. And I know that in this specific instance,
too crazy on turn one.
Whether or not Donald Trump used
leaving one energy out to do defensive plays, maybe
for a hush note on Stormy Daniels. If he broke the law, I would have to wonder maybe what else he broke the law on.
Well, I think they've been digging and digging and digging, and if this is all they found, then it's pretty ho hum,
Yeah.
I agree with you. A lot of people are alienated.
Man, I don't want to tap out because Mario could tear me up on turn two. With Pan can get pretty vicious.
For our best interests, they enforced all kinds of.
Yeah, they're certainly politically motivated in various areas for sure.
Yeah, and overprotective mama culture where they're arresting people for paddleboarding out during the virus all by themselves in the ocean, and they're getting arrested for stuff like this, or maybe kayaking. Forgive me, but they're enforcing ridiculous.
I want to say it was 17,000 people that were arrested while 22 or 26 cities had a curfew in America during the 2020 lockdowns, and 17,000 Americans were arrested. But I want to say it was less than 200 of them that were actually convicted, which means that officers were arresting these individuals, bringing them in. They were being, booked into a cell and whatnot, in ridiculous numbers. And then only a very small portion of them were actually held to any sort of standard by the judicial system, which would tell me.
All right, we took the risk. We took the chance.
Absolutely. That police
that we're going to survive turn two.
Politically, to uphold bogus stuff that the court system didn't even have rules against built into it.
We saw police kneeling with Black Lives Matter, of all things, a hate group that's smearing and maligning people without any evidence. And we saw that Antifa, by and large, got away with a lot of their crimes, or got off.
When this card attacks, use one of your red sand cards with 5,000 power from your drop in a combo with the skills negated for the battle. If you read it as a pan card and you have 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand. If this card in battle, draw 1 card. Switch this card to active mode. It gets 5,000 power.
A woman got crashed
Swings
into
at leader.
She ended up dying. But the primary aggressors were the left.
Potentially get
and the media was not honest about it.
2 attacks out of this guy.
Except for Trump.
I don't think
battle.
They got,
tap 1. Draw cards. Switch it to active
media
mode.
time. The same amount of media time as various BLM and Antifa.
What you doing, Tommy?
Movements and whatnot. But I do know here in Florida, there were a number of incidents where it was definitely majority white crowds, where some things happened, and I want to say most of them were let off very lightly as well. I think that if they weren't, they would have got a lot more media time out of that as well. And some things did get pretty out of hand. It seems like in a lot of these
combination attack
protests.
Wow.
Were you saying majority white Antifa, just for clarity, or majority white?
No,
Trump supporters
these were definitely a Trump supporting crowd.
Is this a
This was,
Gogeta deck?
People in big pickup trucks and motorcycles coming in with their flags of different types.
And doing damage.
What's wrong with a big truck and a flag?
Damage, and there were a couple
They
people
don't do no
injured in a couple of
damage.
the incidents. Yeah, I believe the
Swing
biggest
in the
one
pan
was in
at
Daytona, Florida.
Okay,
And this was not for one of the Daytona whatever weekends where they just do this
10K
sort of
to my
stuff.
10K.
And another one was when it
go
looked like a lot of
15.
churches here in Florida were actually getting together, and they were sending members of their churches. These are Christian churches, by the way. To a protest in Tallahassee. I don't remember what it was about. I probably shouldn't even bring it up because I don't remember
10K to my
enough
10K.
but they were sending people by the busloads
I
to
don't
Tallahassee.
think we're comboing out of this one.
An overwhelming number. There ended up being some damage there as well. Now, again, me and you spoke about this before. There could have been a 2%
Lots
that
of attacks.
infiltrated these numbers and got people riled up, and some
But
bad stuff happened.
Shame on anybody who got riled up and fell into the trap. Just like with January 6th, anybody who actually broke windows or moshed and fought with the police, they fell into a trap, or even went into the Capitol when they, if they knew that they weren't
Marmite
supposed
toast?
to.
What's Marmite toast?
And I agree that there are people
That's like
who
syrup,
are
right? It's like
going
jam.
more for the Trump side, going more for the conservative side, but across the board, a lot of people are poorly raised. And
hopefully that's all he can do.
Emotional.
Doesn't look like he can overwhelm anything. He can't
What's
awaken
the word?
yet. Oh wait, 3 or more Z energy he can
don't think, and just react
spontaneously. Do
instinctual.
Yeah, just kind of irrational, act
Right.
irrationally, act erratic. On many sides, there are people like that, and that's why I warn
Who is this moderator? I've never seen this moderator before.
anybody who's not for this attack on Trump. You're not going to get off lightly.
Oh, he passed.
In general, maybe if you get away with it without much media attention, you will get away with it, like what you in those cases that you mentioned. But by and large, you're not going to get away with it. And if you get caught in that, accept that you did
What
wrong.
do I want to charge?
It may be unjust what's happening to you, but just accept reality like Trump is accepting reality, and you'll be fine.
I want to throw a little
better for it.
monkey wrench in here. He a member that's been with the show for a month here as member. Sorry, moving away from like the ethical and social aspect
now
and more into the economic.
Do I want
they had asked how much debt is America in again, and thanks to who? What are your thoughts on that?
Go.
I believe that we're in $31 trillion in debt or something like that.
Maybe it's 40 as of today. Who knows? It seems to go up 2 or 3 every single day.
I remember Obama took it from like 10 trillion to 20 or so.
Boo.
I remember Bush brought it from like 3 to 10 or something like that, and Trump increased it.
It's
He
doubled
was,
under every president
in part
since
trying to
Clinton,
rebuild the military,
or
but
since
he did some social spending that I don't agree
Bush,
with.
Clinton,
And then,
Obama,
Biden
Trump,
increased the
Biden,
spending.
double.
Every
double.
president, I believe, has increased the spending, and I think Trump
Did I
really
draw?
wanted to get on top of it, and maybe he could have helped turn the corner, but I think we have like a fake propped up economy. I don't know much about the economy. I know that there are central banks.
I don't
that
want him to draw
don't
into
like
this
that,
again.
and they have reasons not to like it.
He
like
plays
them.
it. Costs him 2
not-
energy.
It's not responsible. It's not honest. It's not good Christian values.
I know
and
that
there's a lot
during
of ill-gotten gain.
I probably shouldn't say I know because I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure that just a number of months ago, our financial deficit had went up exponentially more over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Than it had the 3 years prior to COVID. The year
Hold
of COVID, there's obviously going to be some ridiculous numbers.
Overreaction, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would say I would agree with that. obviously, if people weren't going to be able to go to work, people did need to be able to finance certain things. But that should have been direct money that didn't have any other political stuff involved with it. That said, yeah, those numbers were definitely expounded. And
the opponent's life is
so
at 4
minus
less,
that
and
year
the
of
one's
spending,
protesting one too.
I think the 3 years prior, I want to say, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I know it's a significant increase in spending over the last 2 or 3 years, over the last presidency.
Kill the pan.
If you don't involve 2020.
All right.
I think the country's kind of. I think that the country's kind of over. I think that we're on a decline.
I don't even think I should
Trump
attack
indictment
again.
is a sign of that.
Boo.
The New York jury, I don't really have high hopes for their integrity.
Yeah, all that does is give him another chance to combo.
They're not.
Or he takes
people.
2, he goes down to 4, he gets cards in his life.
Offensive, but I don't.
So...
it's what I believe, and the economy's a mess, and everything's a mess. The people are a mess. Everybody hates one another. In every circle.
2 energy up.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said. I think it comes down to our 2-party system.
They're agreeing quite a bit.
I think it comes down to
this guy's on the left, Hake is on the right.
Super PACs,
and they're on the left and right
during election cycles. Comes down to what the media and what the media is willing to show and not show, and whose side they're on, and how far they're able to push things. I like to think that in general,
whiff on the syrup.
Generally speaking, people like you and I, who, well, I'm not going to say that we don't get along, but people like you and I who might disagree on things, various topics, generally speaking, are able to sit down and have a conversation without outside forces trying to flare said situation up. And I think that the media, the political system, the judicial system, everything, the economic system has all pushed in this direction for people to
I
hate
always
one
forget
another
Boo's auto
and keep us separated.
Well, I say that I can't really blame the system. I say that the worldly powers that be, the people who are in positions of worldly authority, are a bad influence. But I think that I have to blame us for falling for the provocation and the temptations that they lay out for us. And we have JLP, Jesse Lee Peterson, I'm on his network, says that we have a religion of anger and emotions in the country, and all sides are falling for it, including even the Christians, rather than a religion.
That's why Boo is limited to 1. Trump going Super Saiyan, all I have to say. What's up, Dave? That's right. Trump going Super Saiyan.
Stuff. And I think that's the root is.
Wow, you didn't do much that term,
which
Mario.
Is partly emotionalism, rationalizing evil.
But not academia.
Evil. Everybody looking at other people and not themselves, and getting better.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, we'll continue on from there. And I was gonna agree. I was gonna agree with Caught in the Middle there that I think you guys are an excellent example of having a really productive conversation. As far as you guys are being, you're very friendly in this discourse, which I think is really useful.
Life.
In this sphere, which is good.
Let's just leave him there and not even attack until I'm ready
we got
to.
The Angry Canuck. I was an Angry Canuck earlier when I had my phone ran over at Canadian Tire. That's the most Canuck story you've ever heard. All right, so $5.
Is it Canuck or Canuck?
A Canuck or Canuck. I'm not sure how they want this pronounced, but I feel like this is a pretty Canucky story. So
you're Canadian, Ryan?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Here's a response.
Yeah.
What is it?
Explain a few things in the chat, right? It's late.
2 energy. Is it
right
the
now,
the
so
D?
I had band practice earlier.
Oh, it's this new Gohan.
Justin Trudeau.
Red, play this card.
Male feminist.
Response for each card
Maybe
you
we
use
can
the
have that
interview. When this
discussion
card is
sometime.
played, choose a winner plus
Sometime
battle
or
cards gets
another.
minus
So the
20,000
angry
for
Canuck
the
for
turn.
550. This was a misdemeanor.
No
The federal government
response.
refused to prosecute because it has no legs.
So this one
the
gets.
case hinges on a person whose lawyer is in prison for extortion.
I think that lawyer's still somehow
played,
making
so I
this
still get the ramp.
media parade at this point.
You talking about Michael Cohen?
Michael Cohen, yeah.
He's in prison for extortion.
He gets to draw off Pan.
He was prosecuted for something, along the same lines. Yeah.
I didn't know that extortion.
But
I didn't really pay attention to him. I know that Trump called him a
standing,
rat,
so I can't
and
attack.
I know that he
with it.
turned on Trump, and people who turn on Trump, I don't really have a high opinion of them. Although I still respect and appreciate all the people who are ex-Trump supporters, DeSantis guys.
Yeah,
we love one another.
He's
But
on
anyway.
like a media parade right now. The Michael Cohen guy.
Yeah, I tend to agree. That's partly why I call this guy sort of shameless, this Alvin Bragg guy. And I hear that he's not the real brains behind this operation, this little task that they're doing going after Trump. I think it's a big show. And it's nice propaganda for both sides, really. So other than that, I don't think it really means much, truly.
I'm sorry, Ryan. Can you repeat the question again real quick?
Yeah.
So I can try to say something on it.
Yeah, that's no problem at all. So
I could do that, and I could attempt to ramp again. I could ramp again.
This was a misdemeanor. The federal government refused to prosecute because it has no legs. The case hinges on a person whose lawyer is in prison.
What do I want to do? Do I want to go ham this turn? I don't think I want to go ham this turn.
So yeah, I'm gonna fall back on what I said earlier. I don't remember the exact mechanics of it, but I do know that Hillary Clinton was fined for something similar. Campaign fraud, spending campaign money on the
we're
wrong
gonna go
stuff.
ahead and swing with the boot.
I do know that Hillary Clinton was not our president. Hoorah! When she was able to do that, didn't make it to be president. Hoorah! But you know, if she was held accountable for it, I think Trump should be held accountable for it.
25K.
I think that a lot more politicians should be held accountable for a lot more things. But
he took it.
Double strike. That Trump should be arrested for it. I would like to go back and see if there are fingerprints or a mugshot for Hillary Clinton. I'm sure there's not. But if she was held accountable for it, I think Trump should be held accountable for it. And even if she were not held accountable for it, I think that Trump should be held accountable for it. But I just hope that things go better going forward. I'm kind of with Hake, or I don't believe they will, because I don't trust the current system. I don't know how it gets fixed.
Not yet.
But yeah, it is. If it's brought down to a misdemeanor, which it likely will be. It likely will be brought down to a misdemeanor.
Oh man, I think we got to go ham on him right now. We might as well do it.
I mean, what they're holding, like, I think they're saying all 34 things are felonies, right? But what they're doing is what I called
he's at
parsing
3.
earlier. The way
1, 2,
I understand
3,
it
4,
is,
5, 6.
like, say one of the crimes that they're
2,
allegedly saying is true, which if it's true, if it is true, he should be arrested for it. It's on topic. But one of the crimes they're saying is they're saying that Trump signing the check and giving it to Michael Cohen was one felony. That Michael Cohen,
this might be a little too early for this, but
Donald Trump, and Trump receiving the invoice was a felony. That Trump receiving the email involving the invoice is a felony.
Right.
And they're saying 5 different things for the same exact felony. So if you take 5 of those away, there could be more. I was reading all this stuff because we had a very limited time coming into this discussion. I was reading through this stuff, and I know that I got to 5 that were for the exact same thing, and it was about a check being given to Michael Cohen. And so I'm sure.
Oh wait, no, sorry.
I didn't even get to the conspiracy portions of it. That they're saying some of these felonies are conspiracies to do this and conspiracy to do that. So I'm sure some of these fall into the same thing. So it's probably going to come down to like 4 charges out of the 34. and it's very likely they're going to be brought down to a misdemeanor unless this judge who has been letting people out of prison, who's been letting people off of a lot of stuff during his time.
So since it's not if I have 4 more energy,
unless
I
he
don't want
tries
to
to
do
make an
that.
example out of Donald Trump,
I just want to do.
I would believe be a politically motivated thing.
This.
Then yeah, this is going to come out to be 4 misdemeanors, 2 misdemeanors, 1 misdemeanor.
I have a correction on Cohen. He's not the one who the angry Canuck. If you don't mind my stepping on your toes a little, Ryan, the moderator. I see another super chat from the angry Canuck in the live chat here.
You can go for
says, Avenatti, Michael Avenatti, so-called Stormy Daniels, real name Stephanie Gregory Clifford's lawyer, extorted Nike, according to the angry Canuck. And I believe that sounds right. That sounds like something that I had heard as well.
Oh, that's going down
that's
a different
true.
path.
Yeah, it's not Cohen who's the one who's extorted. Cohen did something like tax evasion or something like that. I don't know.
What's that?
The rat.
When one of your red Earthling cards, other than a Bulma, is removed from a battle area by opponent's skill, you play this card from your hand. If you do play one red Earthling, only battle card costs 4 less from your drop
Stormy
area.
Daniels. They were both honored by West Hollywood over here, the gay capital of LA County, I guess. And Avenatti turned out to be not a decent or honest guy. I don't even think Stephanie Clifford's liked him after a while. People turn on one another. Evil people tend to turn on one another. Very interesting. Very interesting. Thank you, Angry Canuck.
Yeah, that was a nice twist. I'm not sure.
Now let's see if he can get through my defenses this turn.
Actually, a Canadian, but
we're doing good. Sorry, what's chat saying?
He did give Canadian dollars.
By the way, hey, I've sat in jail for BS 23 hours. One thing I learned how to be stronger, smarter, more powerful.
Here, I'm trying to read through these.
I did a year. Can you repeat that question? Okay, Moeller. Prosperity for everyone.
Cogit Zero Ergo.
All right, he's at 4 energy. So what we need to do?
Actually brought up one of the points I was going to.
We need a floodgate. Well, we don't have a floodgate on hand.
I care about. He said the names here for me. Kathy McDougal, Stormy Daniels,
20K.
and there's a couple others that I don't remember the names of. Whether or not I
think
I care about.
It's in the chat. I think it says his doorman, Karen McDougal, Stormy Daniels. That's a pattern, is what.
Okay, if restands if I activate a counterplay,
is that these women have admitted to willingly having intercourse with Donald Trump, that they were willing to do so. They kind of like to tell a story that goes along with it, but they were very willing. This wasn't an aggressive thing Donald Trump was doing to them. Then they accepted money thereafter, and they signed a contract saying they wouldn't talk about it. And that's not illegal. It's not illegal for that to happen.
Bottom deck is Yamcha, so he just wanted to get Boo's skill out of the way.
And whether I believe that the campaign portion of it is very minute, I think that it's ridiculous. As I said at the beginning of the debate, I think it's very ridiculous that this is the first thing that's being brought up against a former president, and I think that's ridiculous that this is the first thing that we're doing in court.
He's adding a lot of counters to this guy.
I think it's very trumped up. But again, if it's a crime, it's a crime. But I do believe that a lot of what's being added to it, as far as women's rights and women's advocates and different things that are being thrown into this logic, 2 women had intercourse, and there were others, but they're leaving things alone. If it's even true,
is he running the Gogeta in this deck? Attacking with leader?
I mean, that happens. That's we do that sort of thing in life.
All right. Well,
I'm beginning.
Sorry. Well, I'll let you finish off there if you don't mind, like a quick little exit, because I know you were saying you've got 5 more minutes there.
No, I'm good to go on for a little longer, man.
Oh,
it's no problem.
Yeah, somebody. Else said
I'm not like limited by anything, but.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, because somebody in the live chat did say that the indictment is out, and where I am a Canadian, I'm not so up on this stuff. So we can look at that.
I kind of
if you
just
guys have
broadcast
time,
to him what I'm gonna.
to
He
have a
knows
look
I have
at it.
Zeno
But
in
for
my
now,
hand.
we can continue through the super chats. Let's see.
Yeah, I honestly don't. You can search if for the next super chat. I honestly don't really care what the indictment
Six drop.
says.
I smell it.
I'm fine with hearing it out and being like, okay, who cares? Okay, who cares? Okay, this I may care a little bit about, or I can explain this, or I can say why this doesn't matter.
Well,
but, I don't know legalese, and a lot of this
well,
is legalese.
it's a
and,
6 drop, but I can't do it
It
yet.
was a fishing expedition to get Trump.
I'm
And
wondering if you have.
I don't know much about history or anything really, but
I'm wondering if
beginning
you
to
have that
wonder
freaking
if
Gogeta card.
Richard Nixon was one of the good guys, and he was ousted for it, and they just, I don't know, what a mess.
It's a mess for sure.
All right, yeah, we can continue with the super chats then.
All right.
So, a sneaky Canadians, the Angry Canucks strikes again for $5.50.
Oh man, that Canuck.
Yeah, he's striking again. Yes, he's gonna chew through the trunk of our tree here with those beaver teeth of the Canadian Canuck. Obama
25K.
offered a Reuters journal. Bush lied and started a war of aggression. Neither indicted. Trump case relies on intent regarding a liar for profit. I'm putting that in quotes because
now this is interesting because I don't know.
That's an interesting point. I don't know that Bush himself knowingly lied. His whole intelligence
15,
community
25.
are a bunch of liars. So did they lie because they were saying that
that turns into another Fauci situation. You know, if his intelligence community's giving him bad information, he's forced to act on the information he's given.
Yeah, it's like the whole establishment was lying. It wasn't Bush single-handedly lying. Did Bush know that he was lying? And Bush is not this honest guy that I seek to defend. He turned on
35.
Trump and he became a total rhino, and maybe he was a rhino from the start. And
yeah, he was a rhino from the start.
But yeah, I think that there's a lot of selective enforcement and outrage against Trump, and they're going after him for some rink-a-dink thing when they really hate him for real stuff that are his good points.
35.
And on what he said with Bush and Obama, you know, I'm sure these guys likely committed some crimes, and I don't like either of them, so maybe that's feeling. Maybe I'm just saying I feel like they committed some crimes, and maybe that's not based on fact. However, I would say that it is factual that
Gasp. He said gasp.
Hillary,
Big surprise.
or
That's
dare
what I was
say
setting up for.
Hillary Clinton did commit some crimes. And I know that the next thing we know that if Trump bounces this case off, that the next thing they're going for him is Mar-a-Lago, and some files,
classified documents.
Right.
There's also an election interference thing, which he was calling for election integrity. Somebody asked me about the 11,000 votes. Find me the 11,000 votes. He was calling for election integrity. But people think, oh, he's
response to that.
Brawley? I can't say that I know
no response.
the law
What's that do?
On it, but I believe there is
Leader is
something
red,
in
your opponent
place where
has
a president has the right.
This card is played. You can't
to
choose one of your opponent's battle cards facing tower piles and less and KO it.
Certain documents.
Choose one of your non-overlord leaders. This card gains overlord once per turn for the turn.
So in some instances, whether or not he had some
this has servant, so he can swing with it. It's a 25K
unless we
critical.
know what they are, and unless I know more about the actual
and then he
law,
can overlord it,
like he was still within
and draw
his
a
grounds
card.
to have files there. But we do know of a former Secretary of State by the name of
thinking.
By the name of Hillary Clinton and Vice President, who admittedly had documents in places they shouldn't, and one of them even went as far as to say that she took a hammer or had her people take hammers to things, cell phones and servers, in her private home. Admittedly,
he's probably going to kill my
this
boo
is all
here.
Public information. This isn't anyone making things up. This all happened.
Surprising he's comboing with the combination
but now we're
attack
try
instead of
a former
playing
president
the combination
who had
attack.
some authority with some documents.
He's trying to
we're
build
gonna
up his
attempt to
Z
try
energy
him
for
for
something.
the same behavior.
Hopefully he doesn't
I
have that
don't
big
believe that's fair.
8-drop sin.
Yeah, Trump is not a politician.
Swinging
He
with his
didn't have
leader
the
again?
establishment with him. He didn't even have his own deep state with him, if you will, like his entrenched,
Oh, he's
executive
overwhelming.
department was against him in many cases, including some of his own
What's
staff
up, Stubber One?
whom he hired with Senate approval in many cases. The Senate are a bunch of rhinos, but he's not a sneaky type of conniving type of person. At least he doesn't come off that way. Whereas these other politicians like Obama, Hillary, Biden seem to be, and they have workers on their side, and they have this plausible deniability on stuff that they did that looks shady. Whereas Trump was just like, he used to be the boss of his own company. He would keep things as keepsakes, and he would tear stuff up and throw it in the toilet or whatever. And he was just a normal type of a guy who did stuff his way. Wasn't like this jump through hoops rules.
I'm not sure
follower,
as much
phony
about Trump
politician.
as normal. I'd
Sorry,
like to
I'm
hold him
thinking,
up
Mario.
there a little higher, but
Normal in the sense that he's a real guy, and he's not a conniving in his methods and practices. He just has his way of doing things.
Okay.
And he's not gonna listen to, you have to do this.
Right.
Because he's the boss. And the DC runs in a different way. And so these guys can skate and they can catch him on iffy things, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Let's carry on there.
Carry on our wayward son.
Angry Canuck. Oh boy.
Hey, thanks for helping those orphans out, Canuck. Let's go, man.
Yeah,
Keep
exactly.
them coming.
Yeah, exactly. I might do another impression or something if he keeps this up. I don't know.
I am surviving
All
the
right,
attacks. I
Angry
need to
Canuck,
get to
550.
5 in my
Stop
drop
losing your
anyway.
place. All right. Hillary
We got a crazy
destroyed
turn next turn.
public
You better kill me,
records and
Mario.
allowed an attack on an embassy.
You better kill me,
Pelosi
Mario, or you
used her
about to have a
position
problem
for
next turn.
financial gain. Biden extorted a foreign prosecutor.
Combination attack pan
Yeah,
ain't
I'm
gonna
seeing-
do it.
I'm seeing a lot of people there in
Tapping
the
the
audience
energy.
that
No,
are
he's
saying,
not.
hey, where's the debate? These guys should
He's
keep
thinking
agreeing.
about it.
And,
Ooh, we
Hank
got divine presence
doesn't
in this
believe
deck.
that Donald Trump should be arrested.
got
I do believe that he
apes
should
in
be
this deck.
arrested. We just agree on a lot of different things that are going on there. But again, I believe he should be arrested. I just don't think he should be the last one.
Did they realize this has already happened?
And I don't think he should have been the first one.
Response to pan, no response. Sorry.
But I don't think that this will be the last attack on Trump or anyone else who's for
Oh,
what's
what is
right.
this?
And they're going after him because he's for what's right. He's for the country. He's a law and order guy. And then they're pretending to be for law and order against him.
It gets minus
Which
30K for
was
the
it?
turn.
The Republicans just took the House, right? Or the
Yeah,
Senate?
I think so.
So he
yeah.
attacks
The
that.
House?
I
Yeah,
say
we have
no
the
response.
Speaker of the House is
And
Kevin
then he
McCarthy.
minuses this and it
Yeah,
dies.
and we're seeing a lot more.
It has barrier, so.
Uh,
Actually, wait.
what do they call them? These they keep bringing people in, like from the Twitter and
I have negate.
TikTok and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You're
what are they?
talking about?
They're not called briefings though, where they're actually like
Hearings.
Hearings. Yeah, they're bringing all these people in for hearings. It looks like we're getting a lot more action. I'm not going to say we because I don't want to attach myself to the Republican Party.
We're getting more talk, not a lot of action.
I need 5 cards in my drop.
Yeah.
He's not gonna be able to minus it because it has.
Trey Gowdy.
I didn't negate because
with Obama and the administration, but he ended up being just a.
I didn't negate it first because
I really don't have.
I thought he was just gonna kill this, but I forgot it had barrier.
Things getting better. I hope that you can be at peace with things not getting better, and just accept reality.
I like to hope that America will get better, but I am a bit pessimistic, for sure.
So it's basically
more
1,
than a
2,
bit. I'm
3,
more than a bit
4,
pessimistic
5,
about it.
6, 7, 8.
Yeah, I think
so we
that,
go.
I think that
6.
We look at our own lives, and if we get upset about what's going on in politics, and then we're ignoring our own lives, becoming a mess, and pointing out the evil of the Democrats or the evil of the rhinos, or maybe Trump did something wrong or not. and forget ourselves, we're only going to get worse, and we're only going to continue to be suckered by phony people, phony politicians, phony whatever, and continue to get ourselves in unnecessary trouble in life, which is going to only bring more misery.
Yeah, it definitely breeds hate. That's for sure.
Yeah. Terrible.
All right. Well, we continue on from there. Let's see. That was the end of the super chats, but I did have a couple other ones that I'd pulled.
Probably doesn't have a response to the Vegeta.
The live chat there. So if anybody has any other super chats they want to fire in there while these fellas are talking,
No response.
I think they're both good to stay for a little bit longer. Am I correct on that, gents?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as these guys are helping the orphans, let's go.
Help the orphans.
So he knows what's coming.
Please help the orphans.
No response.
All right. I can't do a Kermit impression because
guys and gals and gals.
Yeah, I was gonna say it turns into a Jordan Peterson impression, and it just goes all over the place.
The boar goes
it's
to the
bad.
energy.
It's kind of like when I try to do a British accent, and my wife is like, "Oh, it's so inconsistent." She's like, "You're Irish, you're Australian. Like, just stop trying to act."
But it's entertaining. Who cares?
Yeah. Oh, we're having a good time. This is a great conversation, fellas. So, Doctor,
Not like you guys have the Second Amendment to change anything or anything, so you gotta just learn to love it. This is where the direction we're going, Hake.
I don't really even believe the Second Amendment is our protection. It's like a spirit. Yeah, the Second Amendment is a good thing.
I could have taken some of those back to my hand. I didn't need to put all those into there.
And hollowed
but
out,
it's fine.
So we don't have the strength of spirit which Trump displays, which is why they hate him so badly. And so we need to get that back.
Yeah, we can talk about Trump and the Second Amendment for a couple of minutes if you guys want to hash that out.
If the people want to hear me and Hake disagree much more in the future, we'll do something on religion or something along those lines. I'm sure we can find a topic there that we can both speak on a bit more.
Sure. Yeah, we can arrange something.
We had a different debate topic all the way up until last night / earlier today. We were going to go on, and I think it would have been a little bit more fiery.
Played minus 20,000 power for the turn,
but
so this dies.
This is where we landed, and I'm cool with it.
Oh yeah, this has been fun. I was going to say there's nothing wrong with elevating discourse especially when it comes to this sort of thing, because it's literally on fire right now.
Well, speaking of that, Matthew, what do you think of my take that they exploit the fair-minded rationalism of white men like you who are honorable, rules-following military-type guys who you think that this is a fair thing
in response to that,
and that it should continue. But what do you think of my take that they're exploiting that fair-mindedness, and so you get sucked into the weeds?
Untap all of our energy
rather than see the big picture. You seem to see the big picture, but
I think that when I've allowed myself to fall
3, 4, 5, 6,
too far
7.
into this, I go into a state of mind like you were kind of talking about earlier, where I end up in a position of either
he said so Kale or 17
various
both
things. I bring some of this into my life that I don't want it. I don't want to be there, and so that ends up putting me down a deep rabbit hole of various conspiracies, and that only darkens my life by exponentially. It darkens my life exponentially, and I have to believe that in my mind there are still enough people, both right and left, that can find some sort of common ground. If there's somebody, I don't know who, because everybody seems to hate everybody nowadays. I don't know who.
Execute my trench, but with the flip-flop.
We're able to get someone that's able to
excuse my French, but what the flip-flop.
It's a very bipartisan type president. Whether they have to align with one party or the other just to get into office, because we know we don't.
I think we won, guys.
In America any longer, Abe Lincoln seems to be the last one of those. So I don't know.
I think you made a good point that you get sucked into seeking after knowledge about what's going on, deeper and deeper knowledge, and it has less and less.
Then
to
you
do
get
with,
flat earthers.
Yeah, it has less and less to do with your life, and it has less and less to do with reality.
And people wonder why they want
I had a young
Vegeta
lady
6
call
drop
my
hit.
show. I host a show Monday through Friday, who got into
Even
information
without
from the FBI about
without
aliens and deals, different
you
deals,
would've
and how the evil people who are controlling
Kale,
the government are being controlled themselves.
SCR,
and it has nothing to do with her real life. And
17.
this attack on Trump really has very little to do with us. We don't
Right.
have to really worry about it.
Yeah, I had actually had a crazy story today. I actually spoke to my therapist earlier today, PTSD, Army stuff, and I was telling my therapist because I was telling him about tonight's debate.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and he'd actually watched our previous discussion, and I told him about the
Forgot I had a
topic.
triple
He's
strike.
a deep far right individual. He loves Donald Trump.
Referring to me.
No. My therapist.
Guys,
therapist
this is my
very
final
far right.
battlefield.
He loves Donald Trump. He actually said that.
This is my final battlefield. I have my leader. I have a double strike 20K. I have a triple strike 20K. I have a 30K single striker that untaps and can block next turn. I have a triple attack 40K. I have a double strike dual attack 30K. And I have a 30K critical. And I wiped all the cards out of his hand. And I cleared his board all in one turn. Let's go. And that's what this deck does. Dang, you just got hit, Mario. Sorry about it. And that's what we're putting together right here. That worked great. I didn't have to side anything in. I don't think he was drawing good, and he just couldn't get anything going. And that was turn 4. Or that was my turn 5. That's how you play this deck. When they come with heavy aggro, you just negate everything. Negate. You got to see your negates. That's why I'm going to put in 2 Saiyan Synergies in my side deck, because they're a 5K combo, so they're not dead in my hand if I don't have energy. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then 2 Saiyan Synergies. Oh, this deck. Now, this deck, turn 2, can destroy you. If it's the, well, it might be something different. Like, this deck might be an auto loss for me. Mario, do you have a Cumber deck? Are you listening? Are you in the chat? Do you have a Cumber deck, or do you want to try a Cumber deck? Have you ever tried it? Because I want to play against it. I feel like you played with it once against me a long time ago. It's toxic. Cumber is toxic. I know. That's why I need to play against it. So I need to learn how to lose to it. Or preferably not lose to it, but. Or you said this deck that you're playing is toxic, or the Cumber deck is toxic? I might make it one day, but not right now. I grabbed I built a new Goku Black Zamasu deck, the one that takes 4 life when your opponent I forget, it takes 4 life from them or something. And then I play the Zamasu that puts cards into their energy. I just dropped all these cards on the floor. So you force them up to whatever energy, you burn them for 4. There's a lot of good Goku Black and Zamasu cards now. So that's... This deck is toxic, you mean? Ah, okay. Set 7's Amasu. Yeah. Yeah, that one. I like that. That leader was Amasu and Tragedy Overground, and the 7 drops Amasu that I think it like puts all their battle cards into their some I forget how it works, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I just need life. Sorry, I can't click on this stuff. Who won the die roll? I got 6, so I go first. You too. Though I don't know about fun. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be a deck that kills me on 2 turns, easy. So I'm just gonna charge. I still gotta expect that it's coming turn 2, and I need to at least set up the ramp, I think. So this helps me the least in the early game, so I'm gonna charge this. Normally I would not want to charge this. I'm gonna charge it now. And then I'm gonna take a risk, and I'm gonna play a cantrip just to get a draw. Set up for a potential ramp next turn, but I probably won't be ramping next turn because I'm gonna need both my energies up turn 2 for negates. So I need to kind of filter through and find all my negates. Look, here he comes with the criticals already. Here it comes with the criticals already. He's going to critical, double strike, critical, double strike, critical, double strike. No response. See, we almost should have left that energy up for a turn 1 negate. I hate turn 1 negating. But here comes the critical. And he's going to boost it up just to make sure. And it gives it double strike for free? Wait, no. Add 1 card from your life to your hand when this card... Oh, no, wait. When this card attacks... Okay. No. How do you get double strike? Double strike? How does it get double strike? Auto. Add 1 card from your life to your hand. When this card attacks, leader's auto. Once per turn, choose 2 cards in your life and add them to your hand. Choose 1 of your battle cards. It gains double strike. Oh my god. So it's a double strike, critical, 20k. I can go 10, 15, 20, 5. I can go to 25, but man, that sucks. Man, I hate to do that. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. Whatever. We're gonna play weird. Normally, I'd probably just take this. Even though I really wish I could have this Gohan. Probably not the smartest move. Maybe it would have just been better to take the double strike crit. But 3 cards for 2. Yeah. I got you. Oh no, it's another Vegeta. No. I can't keep seeing my Vegetas like this. This is not good. I bet Mario's happy to see that. Happy to see me charging up these I need to draw cards. Like I need to be hitting his I need to be attacking his trunks right now. Or getting his trunks off the board. But I also need cards in my hand. So I think we're gonna play a little differently than what seems like the smart thing to do. I'm gonna swing. He's not going to respond. I'm going to get rid of the trunks. What's he waiting for? That probably was dumb because I could just awaken and start defending once I awaken. But it's 10. He'll probably take this. Yep. Yeah. Might not have been the best play, but whatever. I don't think I win this game by playing by doing what I feel like I should do. I feel like the way I win against this deck is by doing unusual actions. Let's happen one. God, another one of those cards. Okay, no response. Nope, no response, no response. You know I ain't got but one counterplay in this deck. I guess, I mean, I could counterplay that with Dirty Burst. But I'm not gonna. Swinging that at my leader. You know what? Let's let him get some. Let's let him get some. You want to get some? You want to get some attacks? I'll take some attack. I'll do some. I'll let you dish it out. I'll let you get me down to 7. And then we're stopping every attack. Because he's down to 2 life. So really, 30k double strike? At least it's not crit. Alright, that's all you get. No more attacks going through, Mario. You're tapped out, my friend. You're going to awaken. I know your leader's got 2 double strikes. No response to the ape. You're going to swing with him again. We are going to tap 1. Dirty burst that. Negate. No response. Untaps both the energies, awakens, draws 2. Leader can double strike twice. Double strike with leader. Swinging at my leader. I'm going to D-Magic. Because I think if I just survive this turn 2, if he taps out, he can't keep this stuff up because he's down to 1 life. I know he can push for many more attacks still. But can he do 6 damage is the question. 30k double strike. Draw 2. I'm down to 4 life. He's at 1 life. He's tearing himself a new one. He's done all that damage, not me. He did damage to his own life. The way his deck works is he damages his own life, and he does a lot of double strike, big, scary double strike criticals early game in the first 2 turns. Look, attack, attack. This is only turn 2, and he's attacked me I've had to negate so many attacks. 15K from the ape. No response. Swinging the ape. Big 15K. Trunks 5,000. Oh my gosh, that's like a pseudo super combo. And then if now luckily Champa and Supreme Kai are banned, so he can't get this thing double strike, but he could give it critical with a Frieza. Overround when you play this card. Okay, that's just another 5K, 30K. Single strike. 50, 10, 20. Okay, how do we do this? What do we do here? What do we do here? We go awaken. No, wait, we tap, wait. We tap 1. 30K for 1 energy for crit. Ew. We'll tap 1. We'll do the Beerus. Draw 1 card. Untap an energy. Then alt face. Wait. Draw 1. So I drew 1 for the Beerus, 1 for Awakening. Untapped 1. Now I'm at 25. And then we'll go 35 right here. We'll go 35 right here. And I really don't think there's any point to me switching energy out. I mean, I guess we switch this out. Might be smart. But I don't think so. That would just give us an extra 5K combo. Yeah, we won't switch anything out. I'll put this in my Z energy. This will go here. That's 35. What you got? What you got? Overwhelm. When you play this card using Overwhelm, draw 1 card. This card gets 5,000 for the turn. No response. That's his Overwhelm. That's not a very powerful Overwhelm. I was expecting like a man on the mission or something. No response. $30K. He's still got 2 energy. You know that card's banned, right? He's just using it as a 5K, I guess. 30K. I'm at 15. Do I take it? How many more attacks can he come at me with? I'm going to take it. It's kind of risky, but it gives me more cards in my hand to do stuff with. I don't think he's still got 2 energy up. So he could potentially do he could do the Unison or that Z battle card Vegeta. That's what I think's coming out. Z battle card Vegeta. Here he comes. Where's he at? He's looking in the Z deck. He's looking at, there it is. There it is. Rush attack SSB Vegeta. So I think this is a dual attacker. The second attack will be a double strike. So this could do 3 damage. He gives it barrier. Smart. 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 Smart to give it barrier. Because I would have killed it. Strategy, so no Beerus. Yep. Beerus would have wiped him out. Now I can still use Beerus to get the draw. So we will say no response. Super combo. That is, he knows he has to kill me this turn. I mean, he really doesn't even, because I can't do much next turn. I got a couple tricks. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve. I can kill him next turn with Beers. Area Annihilator. 40k. He really wants this to go through, because if I stop this, then I just take the next double strike. And I don't think he has any more attacks coming. He might have something up his sleeve that I'm forgetting about. He's already overwhelmed. He's tapped out. I can't think of any free plays he could have. So 40k, 15, 25, 35. We can reach it. 15, 25. Um, 15, 25, 35. It sucks to use this now, but Sensu Bean. 15. So that's 20. 30. Then we'll go 40. 20, 30, 40 to your 40. Oh, did the bean hurt him? Maybe he has a 15k attacker that he could free play out after this in hopes of killing me, but it won't work because I just beamed. What am I at? 20, 30, 40. You're at 40. I need to get to 45. We either combo this or this. This we're not going to be able to play, so we're going to combo him. At least this guy we can play and get a draw next turn. It's 45. 45. That's Trump's number, baby. The big 45. Now he does that. He gets a double strike out of this Vegeta. Now the question is, let's just negate it. I mean, actually no. We won't negate it. We'll take this. It's 25k. He really wants this damage to go through. 25k, 35k, 35 double strike. Surprised he's comboing. 35 double strike. We'll take it. Now, here's the question. He's got 4 cards in his hand. What more could he possibly do? He has no energy. Is there anything free? Are you serious right now? If you have 3 or more energy, play this card. Your opponent can't attack with battle cards to a turn. You can't activate the counter skills and copy this part of the game. Okay, he has 1 big free play. You're crazy. You're crazy, bro. He will have 1 more free play that I did not think about, a secret rare, which would be devastating right now, except for the fact that I have 1 negate left. Now, I think he's done. I think he's done. I think he's actually done now. Oh my God, he's done. Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. And I can't ramp. I got no cards in my hand. I need to do 1 damage. He has no blocker. He's got 3 cards in hand. But if I attack with Beerus, he just ramps. One thing to say, you can't win with leader swing. I know. I know, LOL. But I can draw off leader swing. And I can pop that Vegeta. Well, I can't do both. I'll draw. Take the draw because I got to kill him this turn. That doesn't help me at all. 15. And then where do I ramp from? Deal damage card from your drop and place it in your energy and rest mode instead. 1 card from your drop to your energy and rest mode. I don't think it really matters. And then I have to somehow push through and do damage. This is horrible. Oh yeah, I remember what I was going to do. That would go. That would go. This would not go. So I would only get 2 under him. So I would not get the 1 or more cards, and replace all of them in the owner's drop. Switch this card to active mode. So we can go with 2 25Ks, or with Beerus we get, when this card attacks, choose 1 of your opponent's battle cards, energy cost greater than the current energy, place it at the bottom of the owner's deck. This card gets 5,000 power. It's a 15K. Oh, I can't afford to do both, so we'll just do the sell. You wouldn't get any undersell. Why not? Beerus, I wouldn't be able to restand because I don't have enough energy. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards, energy costs are 5 or less, and place them under this card. Choose all red sand cards in your battle card that can until the end of your opponent's next turn. He still has strategies active, so all these have barrier. So I don't get a second attack with my cell. So I have to win with this attack. If he pulls out, he can't sparking negate. He only has 1 life. No response. 25K. We gotta dump, boys. We gotta dump them all. Dump it out there. Take a dump on the field. 25, 35, 40. Oh, God. If he's holding on to all his super combos. Yes, we got it. Let's go. He didn't have enough. He's got he's got 5, 10, 15. He could only get, oh, wait. So 15, 25, 30, 35. I got to 40. Whoa, we barely had enough combo power to kill him. If I hadn't killed him, he would have destroyed me. I had you on the ropes though, didn't I? Oh yeah. Dang. I don't know how we survived that and somehow pulled it out. We won. But that's good practice against aggro. That's good practice against a strong aggro deck, which is a weakness that blue sometimes has, especially early game heavy aggro. Oh, I should not have got that W just now. If you chilled, I would have gotten one extra swing. If I had chilled, I would have gotten one extra swing. Why is that? I got the chilled, I didn't have the chilled last turn. I got it this turn. So I got 2 Deborahs, a Dirty Burst, 2 Jiren for the mirror match. Survival of the Fittest for Android 17. I'm going to go to 3 Koitsukai. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 Zenos for Cumber, which puts me at 10. 3 Shin. Do I need 3 Shin Noble Supremacies if I have Dirty Burst? I think we keep it at 2 Shins and 3 Dirty Bursts for the Omega Sin and the Gogeta matchup. 2 Shins because they're black. 3 Dirty Bursts. I run 2 Dirty Bursts in the main. I side in 1 extra Dirty Burst for Omega and for GT, SS4, and Red Sin. I side in an extra Dirty Burst and 2 Shins. Omega does his big turn on turn 3. GT does their big turn on turn 4. So I have to have these cards in hand by then, or do the Shins before then. 2 Zenos for Cumber to get their field off the field as early as I can. Zeno Unisons, Cosmic Elite. 3 Koitsukais for Android 21. 2 Jirens for any mirror matches. 2 Deborahs for any hand control matches. And then, but can I fit in 2 Saiyan Synergies also for red decks? 2, 4, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have room for 3 more cards. 13, 14, we go 2 Saiyan Synergies for red matchups. And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We got 1 spot left in the side. 1 spot left in the side. That last spot, we might stick this Goku Stronger Together in there for any decks that get really big hands, but nah, probably not. Stick SS4 Son Goku Protector of the Earth for low to the ground wide boards, maybe. I could do I want to kind of make room for this in the deck. Card is played, draw 1 card, then choose up to X your opponent's battle cards, X card, number X card. End of your turn, switches to active mode. Switch 1 of your mono blue energy to active mode. There are no battle cards in your drop. Play this card from your hand. Nah, we'll keep this out of there. All right. Is anybody still watching the stream? Sorry, guys. That was some practice mode. I'm going to jump out of here, Mario. Good games. I still need some more games against 21 sometime this week. Maybe like Thursday. Maybe like Thursday. I'm going to head out. Yeah, me too. Later. Good game. You too. $262 hours played. Kolakai. All right, guys. I got some practice games in. I need to play some more practice games on Thursday, so maybe I'll hit Mario up and ask him what a good time is on like Thursday morning, Thursday night. I need to play some more games against Android 21. Need to play some games against Cumber. I might have to actually just play against some randos and make a room say I want to play against Cumber and see if somebody will jump in. Just wondering what is better to text you on Discord, your phone or PC. Discord, either one. Probably the Dreadedconservative one, because the Dragon Ball Junkie one I usually don't go into it, because then I have to log out because I get too many alerts on the Dragon Ball Junkie one, because I have a lot of people on my Discord on Dragon Ball Junkie. So the Dreadedconservative one is probably better. But Thursday would be good, Mario. Unless possibly tomorrow night, but more likely Thursday night. But also, I might just not even streaming, just come on Untap and just make a room called I want to play against Red Sin, or I want to play against Cumber, just to practice against them. But yeah, good games, Mario. I can't believe I finally beat that crazy aggro deck with Beerus. I saw all the negates. But yeah, stream. So the Trump stuff was wild. We got a hate debate going on. It's kind of a boring
He's not allowed
debate.
to talk about it, or they don't talk about it anymore in their church, but their church actually.
But I'm gonna head out, guys. I gotta eat some dinner. I gotta take Echo out. All the good stuff. So Trump indicted. Not a big deal. Good speech. I'll have to chop it up and make some shorts out of it. But yeah, good hanging out with everybody. Blue is strong counter to Pandemonium. Yeah. It's got so many negates. All right, guys. I'm out. Have a good night. We out. Peace.